time.
I'm having a fantastic time. I just can't believe how disgusting you are.
I kept yelling, I'm not gonna whip my dick out. We talked about that. I'm not gonna do that.
Featuring your host, Mitch Marzoni.
I don't walk around going like, hey, I'm really weird. Look at me, I'm weird. As far as I'm concerned, I'm perfectly normal. It's a litmus test for freaky people.
And Teddy Tutson.
I'm a hate mercenary. Yeah.
All right. Hate mercenary.
Hater for hire. Hater for hire. I should put on a bit of disguise.
There are two victimless crimes, all right? One, jerking off when your window's open. Two, necrophilia.
I'm confessing to a large-scale crime.
Okay, all right.
now.
Legs akimbo, engaged in sexual discourse.
Come on, man. What kind of guest are you?
It's archived for posterity.
Great internet.
So it'll
21st century.
come back to haunt you every day.
Yikes.
It's time to riff.
Oh, that is right, bitches and motherfuckers. It is April 22nd, 2013, episode 10, final, the last, the end. That's it. That's all there is of Straight Riffin'. And I am your host, Reverend Mitch, and it's time to riff the fuck on. With me, as always, is the difficult Brown, the hater for hire, Mr. Teddy, TMI Tutson. How the fuck are you, sir?
Oh, man, my heart is swollen right now with a bevy of emotions. The final riffing all up in these streets. Riffopolis, I'm going high fives, upper class, low class, all the way to the bourgeoisie. Final lap of the track, son. Riffopolis, let's get it right now.
All right. Well, that made most sense. Mostly. Wouldn't you know? We got Justin DuBois in the chat room.
Oh, to the OG. What up?
My Lord Almighty.
Riffing old school. DuBois. AKA Filipino James Dean. What up, son? How you living?
There we go. Now, got the chat room open. Cool. We're good. And our guest this evening, joining us for his second time and last time.
Yes.
But it's good, because then we've sort of bookend this entire show with black on one end and black on the other. Mr. Dwayne Perkins. How the fuck are you, sir?
Oh, I'm really good. Thank you. I just got back from Portland, kicking it with the hipsters who eat like shit but don't gain weight. Someone needs to figure that out.
It's not all just leaves and Whole Foods and
No, it's
Trader
bacon
Joe's?
and beer. It's like they
All
had
right.
bacon.
They're on the
cookies.
weird, like on the
Shit.
other end of the hipster diet spectrum of like, oh yeah, it's just kale and carrots. Are the dudes who are like, yeah, we're at Denny's for Baconalia 5 days a week.
Right. I think that's what it is. It's like Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays is kale, and then the other days is bacon donuts.
Right? Like, rum-flavored biscuits.
Right.
That's all paleo right there.
That's Mitch's new thing right now. Mitch is kind of dabbling in those waters right
Oh, you're
now.
gonna go paleo? Nice.
Yeah.
He's already.
I've been on paleo for about a week or so.
Nice. I don't know why I just had a thought. Like, can you just grab a girl by her hair and pull her to your crib? And, this is paleo. This is how they used to do it back then.
I got bacon, and I'm bringing you by the hair.
Just show her a receipt from your grocery shopping outing at Whole Foods. Be like, no, trust me. Look at this.
All I wear is fur. Carry a club.
We weren't meant to court. You think they courted back 3,000 years ago?
I don't have time for courting. I'm a hunter and I'm a gatherer. There's no courting in that hyphen, bitch.
Right. Our bodies haven't gotten used to courting.
It's no
Man
hunter-gatherer
cave
quarter.
is a literal man cave.
Did you know we're the only mammals alive that spit game? Did you know that?
Oh my god.
That's going in your act.
Your
I guess.
pickup lines are so self-aware right now.
Next time you go to Portland, and you're like, you guys are all about that paleo.
Right.
Boy, have I got a joke for you. It's already been tested. I know it's going to work.
Oh.
That is the problem about writing jokes about new things, is that nobody gets references. you know?
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Oh, man. That's the thing up there in Portland.
I mean, they're on the edge of shit. It's the same thing like San Francisco.
Yeah.
They're on the bleeding fucking edge.
It's an alt scene, and those guys, I love those guys. They have love for me. I have love for them. But I always feel like I'm just an outsider because I feel like I just got back from the Chuckle Farm in Dakota. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I know it works there. And I got something for you here in Portland, but I just don't know because I'm not.
Yeah,
Like
the ground is so unsure. Like at the Chuckle Hut, you know exactly where your A, your B, and your C
I've
door are.
tested it out. Like a guy did a great joke about improv, right? He's like, I don't like improv, blah 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 blah. And someone was like, improv is great, and he's like, okay, yeah, and everyone, right? So you guys laugh
Right.
because you know the rules of improv,
right.
but if I drop you in Dayton, Ohio, they're like, what? What did he just say? What? And what? And what? You know?
Yeah, go finish, motherfucker. Go on. I didn't pay money for a bunch of open-ended fucking ramblings.
Right, right.
But
So-
also, that's the other.
right, but also, yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it was a good time. Portland, good time.
Did you have
Yeah,
a favorite
yeah.
spot to perform at? Is there,
I was gonna say that was the Bridgetown Comedy Festival.
Yeah, Bridgetown Comedy Festival.
I
You
have
mean
a follow up on
in
you with this
in
question.
Bridgetown or just in general?
Just in general, yeah. Is there like a region where you're like, all right, I'm
You
going
mean
out-
outside of Portland or inside of Portland?
Yeah, no, okay, let's go
general.
outside of Portland. Yeah, we could bring Portland into the mix too. I mean, like across the contiguous.
Well,
if
you know, I feel like same thing happened. And I don't mean to place drop, but I was in Edinburgh and they had a great club there.
I don't know if Dwayne understands how place dropping works. You know, I was in Paris, Texas, and it was a really lovely group of people.
Don't hate it, nothing.
Edinburgh counts.
Yeah, Edinburgh. And they have a great club there. And I feel like, again, I wasn't calibrated for that club. I didn't realize how hip they were. And I can do my same jokes. It's just doing them slower.
Yeah.
Because they're so smart and so, like, they don't even, like, they have stag parties out there, which is bachelorette parties.
Sure.
And there's one club in Edinburgh, they don't allow bachelorette parties. That's how much about the art they are. Like if you call up, like, it doesn't, the money aside, you call
Yeah,
them like,
yeah.
there's 20 of us, I'm getting married, you know what I mean? We got a blank check. They're like, no, you want to go up the street. We don't we don't
Nice.
do
We're
that
not,
here.
we're not your people.
Yeah, and I feel like if I could go back there, I would sort of let it breathe a little more, take my time.
Now that you know that you can flex a little bit.
Yeah, right. And so that's a place called the Stand in Edinburgh, great club. And I always love New York. I love Gotham. Anywhere in New York, the Gotham in New York is great because, like, every show is different. It could be New Yorkers, right? You can get like Manhattanites, you can get Brooklynites, you can get all tourists. So, it's
So
like-
that's where Brooklyn at.
yeah, where's Brooklyn at? And the best club off stage.
How many
is,
people come out on stage at Gotham and yell where Brooklyn at?
Believe it or not, the thing about saying where Brooklyn at
And we talked about this last time, I think. But,
maybe
but that's fine.
is Brooklyn people don't get tired of it. Like
Okay.
That's the best part about it, son.
Right.
That's why it's so good, B. If you ever in a spot, you just like, where Brooklyn at? Brooklyn will always take the bait, be like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, he said
It's-
us. We're here.
saying where Brooklyn at is kind of like shucky ducky quack quack. Like
Okay, now you're.
You've gone too black for him. You've gone too black. And that's the bookend, understand me? The start and the finish, blackity black, black, black. Get your black cap on.
Shucky, duck, duck.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
shucky ducky
Oh.
quack quack.
That's the black person code, son.
I
If-
opened for him, yeah.
Yeah.
Back
Yes,
in the
sir.
day. So
You don't
meaning
know nothing.
Shucky
You don't know
ducky-
nothing.
I'm
That-
asking.
that's his catchphrase, shucky ducky quack quack. And it's sort of
Listen,
like
I know a thing or two about hummus, you black fellas.
and so
Oh,
yeah.
I'm out. I can't believe you waited all these episodes to drop a hummus bomb.
So
I know how to shop for kale.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of cheese
you could say like Shucky Ducky could, no matter where he was in the show, if it wasn't going to, you know what I mean, check spot. Man, this joke is not working. Shucky Ducky quack quack, and then everyone would just laugh.
That's a comedian?
Yeah, it was a
How have
comedian.
I never heard of this guy?
Um,
And you've heard of this guy.
Black.
So you could say where Brooklyn at? Whoa 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 whoa. Then do a joke. You ever notice how? And then nothing. And he, where Brooklyn at? Whoa whoa whoa. Like just you can go back to it.
Because I
It's
feel like
beautiful-
I'm going to do that.
It
if I-
is so it's
yeah.
irrelevant. Like it cannot necessarily bring you up out of the straits or whatever, but
Right,
it can
right.
make them momentarily forget. Oh, we're watching someone just fail
Right.
miserably.
Right, right.
But like if you're killing and you drop away, oh my God, son, then that's when the roof blows off the spot.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. And you can some way segue
And I
that.
told Hush she could suck my dick where Brooklyn at. It's sort of like, can I get a hallelujah?
It can
at
be
the
used
very
that
end?
way. It
Mhm.
can be used that way.
I got it. All right. I'm going to use that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
My favorite thing was when we went to visit Brooklyn with friends. I was in New York, and we were walking across the Brooklyn Bridge, like right before we go into the actual city or whatever. And
Yeah,
I just kept yelling it right when we were on the threshold because I was like, "You don't even know where Brooklyn is anymore." And you're like, "No, it's back that way. Just stop walking with us, please. This is embarrassing.
Right,
We're in a
right.
public. We're on a bridge right now. There's a lot of attention being attracted.
right. I've never walked across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh my
That's-
God, it's amazing, son. That's the best time in the world to yell where Brooklyn at, because like if someone like,
scare
oh
white
no,
people?
shit, it's right here, B, you leaving?
Right.
Just scare white people. Go, oh, it's right over there,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it's, if you want to see the pulse of the city react in a million different ways, just
Right,
cross
right.
the bridge
Exactly,
and yell out
exactly.
where Brooklyn at. That's how you live. You ain't lived until you did that.
So this the comedy festival in Portland,
Bridgetown.
Bridgetown. Speaking of bridges, It's a several night event. You do different shows every night, or what?
Yeah, it was a show a night. I actually doubled up some nights because they had this like open mic.
Is that with
was,
everybody that's in the festival? They play a show every night, or is that...
some people play 2. I had one scheduled show per night in different venues, and then there was just like open mic that was just constantly going, and you could just run and get a spot over there. And I did that 2 nights. So
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Just for
you
wanted to see the madness.
Well, yeah, I was trying to get into the vibe of it, the flow of the rhythm of the talking and everything. Because I was doing well, but I just felt like I was just a little too earnest. Because I hate this word, but like not ironic enough. So I would go to the open mic and do completely new jokes, and that rhythm seemed to flow with them.
Yeah.
Just like really, because it's once you get a joke kind of done, it's hard to like say that joke like it's conversation.
Yeah.
Because the muscle memory kind of kicks in. So I would go to the open mic, and even on my shows, I would do just a straight new joke just to see how. So that way, because everyone else was so sort of like.
How many people do you think across the nights saw you multiple times?
That's another thing. Yeah, people. In fact, I got in my head one night because another comic, because you can get a pass. And I didn't even think about it.
Still rocking his pass right now.
It looks like
yeah.
you're still rocking.
Because I can't.
That's a fancy bracelet, by the way. That's
Well, yeah, you can't take it off until you cut it off.
no.
So
I mean,
You
usually
can't
they
take it
use
home till 48
those
hours
plastic
after you
ones.
get back.
That
Right.
looks like you could actually just rock that as a bracelet.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah, so one guy came up to me one night because I was like, I'm gonna change it. I'll do one joke I didn't do last night. And then this guy said, "You were great last night." Some random audience member, and I
Some
was like,
phantom from my hellish
and I was like-
imagination.
I was like, oh fuck. So, well, then I just
You were like, "Close your ears. I'll point at you when I get to the new shit."
right. But the best thing is this one guy, Dan. If you're out there, shout out to Dan. He actually he flew
If there's a Dan in Portland,
into Portland to see me. He's from another.
just to see you.
Yeah, he's from another part of Oregon.
Wow.
And like I just did a Facebook update. Hey, I'm gonna be in Portland, and he was like, "Which days? I'm flying in." And him and this girl, they flew in, and it was just like, it was really cool.
Wow.
I just need a million more people like him.
Yeah.
And then,
I gotcha.
Dan, I don't know how many friends you have.
The thing that I think about is like if you look at, Beatles records, for instance. I think they've got the most sold records. Let's just say that they do for the sake of this thought experiment.
Michael Jackson is somewhere just pissed off as a mother.
I'm pretty sure the Beatles have sold more records
they have more
across
records.
their
Yeah,
entire opus, right?
Original records.
Over, I believe. Whatever. Across their history, they've sold more records than anyone else. And it's like, but it's still, if you take all of the, unofficial to official reports based on like SoundScan and iTunes, everything else like that, it's something like 65 million or something like that. Maybe 80 million tops, which, yeah, it's a lot for albums. But when you think about like, all right, there's 3 billion people. Or just in America, there's 300 million people, and everybody, babies have heard the Beatles.
right.
Is the thing you come to think of like, so you're talking about like out of the planet, like half of 1%
Completely.
has bought the fucking album.
Completely.
And it's just one of those things like, how do you get, half the planet to just go, give me $1? $1. I'll entertain you for life.
Right.
And literally for the rest of your life, $1 if half of you. You know what I'm saying? If half the planet was like,
It's a bold move.
That's the secret. That's the thing. And I think
that's what's in the book, The Secret. It's actually
Right.
400 pages of explaining how to convince
How to get $1 from everyone.
how to get
Right.
$1 from 3.5 billion people.
but it's like
I need $1. There you go.
I love that song. Out of that 3.5 billion,
Hello,
right?
black, baby. Hello, black. What up?
Out of that 3.5 billion, you got to realize that probably 3.4 billion of them
Poor.
just don't have time. They just they
I thought you were gonna say poor.
they could be poor. They are poor, but they also they don't have follow up. Meaning the only people who have follow up for real are girls. Girls who don't have children. That's how I figured out. So,
Okay, hold on. I want to bring up, I did look at Wikipedia list of most sold, like highest selling artists of all time. Beatles do top the list, but they claim, Wikipedia claims 600 million for the Beatles, which means that everybody in America has bought the album twice.
that makes sense.
But they say total available certified units is 250 million, which which is still higher than
Oh,
the 80.
those are like the AIDS figures. Like we know 10 people, 10 million have AIDS.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's like 80 million we don't even know about.
Michael
We
Jackson's
got our
in there.
known unknowns and the unknown unknowns.
Michael Jackson's in there, 400 million, 350 or 300 million, depending which number you go. Okay, well, even still, that's everybody in America. Okay, well, there goes my point.
all right.
But kind of still my point.
But the thing
You
is
know?
that like you need
You ever looked
avid
at like you ever
fans.
looked at like what's considered platinum in other countries other than America?
No.
Like
Oh,
we
it's
started
crazy.
at 1 million,
Yeah.
and like in Australia it's like 50,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something like that.
So
and
you
like
can-
in
you
the UK it's 100,000.
Yeah,
Yo, son, I
platinum.
cannot wait to go
Right.
platinum Mozambique. What up,
Right,
son?
right.
I'm coming at you.
But when you look
Romania,
at when you look at like
13
a huge,
people,
when they talk about like
platinum.
a huge international success, they'll talk about like the number of albums sold, and you look at the U.S. and they'll be like 40 million, and it's like all the other countries combined, 15 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like that's why everybody wants to make it America.
You can go platinum in Australia and still do people's taxes. You know.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
oh man, you got fucking hot dog vendors that are platinum recording artists.
Have you had these Beatles? Wow, they are rippers.
Go out there and mow
Yeah,
that lawn.
right there.
Yeah.
Saw them last week down at the pub. Gave him a high five.
Secretary went platinum last week, mate.
Yeah. That was great.
I always love Teddy's Australian and British accents from Teddy are my favorite. They're
I used to joke about that actually, because David Hasselhoff is like the biggest selling
Germany, yeah, they love Germans love them.
And my thing is, in Europe, everyone gets a hit single.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it. If you achieve a certain level of status in
Yeah.
Europe, you will have a hit. You will experience the joys.
It's like jury duty. You get your letter in the mail. Oh, my hit single came up.
yeah.
I'm gonna go-
We're gonna put going platinum in Europe is like jury duty. That's I think the only way to really capture
Right.
At some point, someone goes. You go to the archives, the National Archives or whatever, somewhere in Poland. Like, oh yes, I went
Yes, sir.
platinum a long time ago.
I gotta go
Well,
cut
actually,
a single. You can't get out of it. No, last time I tried to get out of it.
I suddenly feel pretty good. Out of the top 5 they list, 3 of them are American,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
That's
there we go.
solid,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's not bad. We did all right.
Well, like
we can make a hit or two.
3 are American, and the other 2 had to sell here for it to really go down.
Yeah, right. They don't mean nothing without us, B. Don't mean nothing, son. You know what? Nobody give a fuck about the Beatles till they came over here and invaded our country, okay? Y'all just a bunch of mop-headed know-nothings over there, okay? Nobody give a fuck about y'all. You had to come to America.
Exactly.
Only in America.
What would be the biggest one probably?
The biggest what?
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, say? I'm just trying to I'm trying to show you one of those little tables they have of like
Like their biggest
how many
album?
albums. Oh, here we go. This is just Sergeant Pepper's, right? If I show you at the bottom, when they show how many they sold in various countries, Argentina 120,000, 2x platinum. They consider that, by the way.
Yo, I'm about to be
So
going.
platinum is 60,000. Argentina, oh no, I'm sorry, 180,000. Australia 280,000. That's 4x platinum.
I'm gonna drop a
What was
comedy
that?
album.
70,000 makes a platinum.
God, so I'm
in
gonna go
New Zealand,
10 times platinum in Australia.
in
B.
New Zealand, 6x platinum is 90,000.
Wow.
And then
Son.
United States, 11 million.
That's my new life goal now. Is to
Like
set,
all these other ones are like, oh my God, there's a 6x platinum. And it's
That's my
like,
new life
like in
goal.
the U.S., you'd be homeless. 90,000
Yeah.
shipment.
That's
You
what
wouldn't
are you
even
doing?
get a call back at American Idol.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
United Kingdom and the entire UK, 5 million.
But you know what that speaks to is
It's like that's your home turf, man.
even with
How
even with
pissed you have to be.
yeah, even with things going bad, we have an immense disposable income budget. As like other people, they don't buy albums. Like they might buy one album.
Yeah.
And
No, it's like
you know,
it's like the album that will change your life. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
whoever you get that album, that's it, son.
Yeah,
like
You know what
in
I've never
all-
you never understood until iTunes. Now it makes more sense, but like literally up until then, the history of time where they've been like, this is a #1 single, and they don't mean like people called into the radio, but they mean like people bought the single.
right.
That has never made sense to me. Like in my life, I've maybe bought one single, and it was like a Nirvana one because it had an unreleased track on the
Right,
backside.
right,
but
right.
like, how many singles in your life prior to iTunes, like singles, bought the single as a thing?
I bought a few because my thing was I'll buy the single and then buy the album. That was my sort of.
Dwayne was the earnest consumer.
Because
That's why
to me
he
it's
didn't
like-
hit that bridge down too funny. He's like, I'm the guy who will give your single a fair shake, sir.
But that doesn't even make sense because like you already know you like that song.
Do you though?
Right.
Do you? You got to spend time with it.
But remember
I mean,
that
maybe.
song could be like 99 cents, $4. The CD back in the day, at
Right,
least,
right,
it
right.
was $20. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, no. Well, if you're talking about
15,
like, I can
20.
remember it was like a single was like $3 or $4.
Right,
It wasn't.
right,
If it
right.
was $1, I'm with you. But most of the time it was like $3 or $4 for the
Yeah,
single, and then it was like 12 or 15 for the album. Although I went to,
But, you might get an instrumental on that
But
joint.
have you
know what
ever
I mean?
purchased an album and you only like the one song?
Yeah. Oh, I've been burned a few times. Warrant. I'm still pissed at them.
And now my consumer decisions have been destroyed. See how fucking satisfied that
just
look
like
is on
the
his
one-
face? So he
but
was
if you-
like, you know that album. You know that album in your head right now.
But if you just like
Right.
the one album or one song,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you just hear it on the radio for the next 3 years, and you're good. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but see, you gotta fucking. I mean, if you really love that
This is-
song, son, if that song came to you out of
Right,
nowhere in the darkness
But-
that is otherwise everyday human existence, you don't want to just be dependent on the radio.
Right.
You,
And most
gotta
singles,
because I got another thing to say. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, most singles I purchased weren't like songs that the radio they weren't in heavy rotation either. You know
Street
what I mean?
singles.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I can understand like if you were like, I really want to know what he says at this point in the song, and,
Right, right,
whatever.
yeah,
but I think I mean, especially if it's an artist that's been around for a while. If it's their first album, I can kind of get it. But if it's their second, third album, you know what the fuck you're getting
No,
into.
but what if you're getting that like U2 Zoo TV era? Do you know what I mean? Where you're
Let's
like,
be
what,
fair.
what the
All
fuck's
U2
going on?
albums are the same.
Nah, son.
All right, I don't want to get
Listen,
into U2, but I do want to. I just remembered that this thing about singles
Yes.
reminds me of what I've been thinking for a while. When people like the thing that the internet overwhelmingly ruined was that.
The post office? No, I'm
like
sorry.
was
Real
was
life.
that sort of like put money down on like a bullshit tagline. Insofar as you remember back in the like even to this day, you see a magazine, especially Maxim. Maxim was famous for this. Like Maxim would put something on their front cover, and then it'd be like, like learn how to 41 ways to give her an orgasm in 30 seconds or less. And you were like, whoa. I have
Right,
to
right,
learn this.
right.
And you open the thing and it's just chicks like giving opinions. You know what I
Yeah,
like when
yeah.
guys kiss my neck and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. And the
Maybe-
first thing was like find an info.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
And it was like they did this every fucking, or men's fitness. It's all
Yeah,
like
men's
abs
fitness.
in 10 days. And you're like, oh my God, I want to know. And the thing is like, that's why the magazine industry failed is because now I can go online and find out what the hell that they're talking about and go, oh
yeah.
that's bullshit.
And plus, they're guys. There's a guy I follow now on YouTube. Excuse me. I don't know how, because the only thing I do on YouTube for real is watch like ignorant people being interviewed.
Okay.
Wait, look, Dwayne really took a time. He was like, what do I do on YouTube?
yeah.
I consume ignorance that
Yeah.
Oh,
other people have already cultivated for me.
IgnantInterviews.com.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like people who like raced out and didn't, put like they're in their bathrobe and they're talking to someone like
Right,
like that.
right.
I love that.
You
And
love basically you just go into every local news station's
Right.
fucking playlist. and
Right,
like, Let me
right.
see what you got to offer, WSTB.
yeah, like ain't nobody got time for that. They raping everybody out here, like that kind of thing. I watch. I do because YouTube I feel is not porn.
Right.
So I will do some BBW surfing from time to time,
All right.
and then and
my God.
and rap battles.
Oh, rap
Okay,
beefs are the
okay.
best. Yo,
Yeah.
the internet's one of the best things that ever happened for rap
Okay.
beef. Rappers just sit in rooms, just get mad, grinding.
YouTube does that same kind of thing with the magazine thing where like either the thumbnail tricks you
Yeah,
or the
oh.
title is like worst best thing ever in all of the ever of all time in the universe cosmos.
completely.
In all of history, there's never been a smackdown quite like this and you watch it and some girl's just like, you're a bitch. And you're like, that
Right, but you
Why-
don't
where-
you don't have to pay for it anymore. Is it?
Yeah, that's why.
Well,
that's
in
why
fairness, I think
it's
the
just
best
funny that they do that.
example of one got it absolutely right is that clip of from a few years back where that dude is dancing in the street and gets hit by the ice cream truck.
Right.
You never see that
The
one?
shuffling.
Yeah, no, you never see this? Oh my God, I can't believe that you have not seen this, bro. You got
All right,
man,
I'll
your
pull it
man
up.
is like deep in the hood, right? And he's just fucking like arms folded, me mugging, and then he just starts doing this weird like Fred Astaire glide. And then glides into the street in the middle of fucking, and then an ice cream truck just, bow, son, just smack hits him, dude. And it was like, dude dances in the street and get hit by ice cream truck, and you're like, no way, no way, YouTube, it'll never work.
There you go.
Here we go.
There we go.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, here we go.
Absolutely beautiful.
The song is so good.
I really can't believe you haven't seen this.
I'm Gipper.
5 million hits.
The thing that's surprising is, well, everything about it, really.
Yeah, right.
That this guy doesn't look the right way, that a truck doesn't
Wait
bother to,
for
like-
the skate. Wait for the skate right here.
But why-
This is my favorite part right here. Wait, I'm Fred Astaire right now, bitches. About to get my scoop on. Doop-a-da-doop, doop-a-da-doop, doop-a-da-doop,
Oh, God.
doop-a-da-doop, doop-a-da-doop. Oh, Trouble Town. Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Yo, the thing about it is I saw that video like
Wow.
I think I maybe one of the few like I saw it like when it must have like just gotten uploaded. So I was sitting there really being like, first of all, you could see your man's friend in the video who sold him out to the internet, right? Your man gave no fucks about his friend being hit, son. That shit hit the internet too fast, B.
And why did they pick that location to dance?
Yo, that's their house, son. That's the neighborhood.
But there's a side street, and they're using the main street. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah, but you ain't no real thug if you dance on no side streets, son. Real thugs dance on main intersections.
That's. I
Well,
love it.
he
I
was
love
outside
it.
of a house. It couldn't be that main of a street.
Son, you know how small that town is that man's dancing right now? That's the street.
But we saw
Just saying.
a few cars.
Yeah.
Like that's the expressway where they live.
right.
That's
And that's
the
why it's
main
like-
avenue of commerce.
That's why it's surprising that I mean, he's looking both ways. He's being pretty careful, really.
Until he
And-
goes
and
into your
then-
skate move.
Yeah.
See,
And
that's
then
when
he
he lets
goes
the
into
guard
that,
down.
and it's like it seems to me that if I were driving down the street and I saw a guy, I mean, I look at the road. Maybe I'm an asshole, but I look at the road.
Right.
I look, 3 cars in front of me, and if I see half a mile up the road,
Some
a
guy
guy's
dancing.
getting close.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, I don't trust his judgment. I'm slowing down a
Right.
bit.
That should be labeled failure. That's
Yeah.
that's
Failure on 2 sides.
3. The camera guy's failure. The guy's dancing
Oh,
failure in life in general,
Oh, man,
and
yeah.
the ice cream truck driver. But see, what I'll do is I'll get on YouTube, right? And here's 2 things happen mainly on YouTube. I start watching girls shaking booty, and I end up with rap beef.
Are you so you start off at twerking.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, let's see what's going on in the world of twerking today.
Right.
And then you end up somewhere like
Then it's like
East Coast
50
gutter.
Cent talking about French Montana.
And
you know what I mean?
you basically walk the world star hip hop beat.
Exactly. Or
Essentially.
I start with rap beef, and then I end up with twerking videos.
There's really no like. They're so intermingled that if you click on one that you thought was a rap beef and it turned out to be a twerk video, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm not even mad right now because
exactly.
I deserve this." Basically,
Exactly.
You're saying, yes, okay. I get it.
But then there's 2 other things I do. Somehow I came across this guy who's a fitness guru, and
Right.
it's like he's doing everything that they would do with men's health. He's talking about eating, he's working out. It's this ripped Asian dude. He won't put a shirt on though. He won't. Don't even think about it.
Wait, I hope the video starts off with him like holding a shirt and just burning it and being like,
just-
"Say goodbye to these."
He will not put a shirt on. But he's got some good, useful information. So, every now and then I do videos. I like if I want to like restring my guitar or something like that, I'll jump on for that. Final cut, like everything's on there. So if I'm editing a video, how do you do this? And boom.
Sure.
When I'm not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
World
not
Star
rap
Hip Hop.
beef,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What's the gulliest rap beef video that you've seen? Because I feel like I don't know, Mitch.
Sorry, the gulliest?
gulliest, yeah. Well, I think
Do you want to explain to?
Has anything to do with Fern Gully in the
It's-
last rainforest?
exactly,
Or-
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You remember that scene where she was all with the pixies and the
Remember how
fairies and shit, and they got into a brawl?
Yes, and see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like the toughest. For me, I like it when rappers it amuses me to no end. Certain things just like dude, I love when people sing curses. I've always if you're melodically cursing, it fucking brings me joy, absolute joy in my life.
Bitches be tripping,
Right? And especially if you're just like adding on to somebody, be like, oh, y'all getting your ass stomped on.
Like R. Kelly's Real Talk.
Oh my God, son, that's one of the greatest videos ever created, son.
He's cursing and singing, and then his friends
In the middle of a poker game about to go terribly wrong.
His friends break into a fight at the end, a real fight.
Yeah, his video is for a song called Real Talk. He starts it off by talking about, we just gonna tell you what real talk is really about. And it's just R. Kelly sort of singing, narrating what real talk is. And then after everything, he just goes, real talk.
That brings me complete and utter joy.
And then it's like a real
That's your is that your like if you were meditating and they say like come up with a mantra that brings you utter joy, it would just be like the sound of R. Kelly going real talk.
Yeah, because he's like,
I'm probably doing it wrong.
Because the part
you don't have the gully in your voice.
Have
But it's good to know what you think R. Kelly sounds like when he's
real talk.
the part that
I can fly and shit, whatever, and spatula.
well, the part that pulls me in. Well, because it starts out, he's not cursing, right?
Yeah.
He's
Right.
Like, it's like, girl, I'm not here. I'm not gonna argue about who's to blame or call no names. Real talk. And let's not argue about who who did what. Real talk. Yeah, okay, he's talking sensibly to this woman.
Sure.
And then he goes, just because your friends said they saw me kicking it at the club with some other bitches. And then he goes, doesn't mean I was with those bitches. And then he goes, well, let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. Were there other guys there? Did they say there were other guys there? So tell me this. How the fuck I'm going to be with them guys? And then you're like, this is amazing. This is amazing.
No, it really sounds like he is exaggerating what happens, but it does sound like R. Kelly just got off the phone with a bitch and was like, I'm about to record a video. He was playing a real life poker game with his friends. He's like, hey, roll footage. I'm gonna tell these motherfuckers what real talk is, because that's why the fight the poker game is irrelevant to the music video. He just happened to be there.
Yeah.
And then by the end, like when the song is over, you just hear these motherfuckers getting mad ignorant in the background, being like, hey, yo, cuz, what's going? And then like a fight breaks out and the table gets flipped over or whatever, and the camera guy's all scared and shit.
It's just pure joy. It's like if you could shoot joy into your veins, right?
Oh my
So
God.
you mean heroin?
No, yeah. If Dwayne was like back in the day, like, hey, baby, I got you won't get wet. He's like, nah, son, I'm about to go on this YouTube right now.
I think it's the contrast. And so
Well, the thing is, like, I really do feel like R. Kelly doesn't write songs so much as he just he's
records his life into a journal.
He's like an open mic comic that can sing, and he decided that he's just gonna sing all of this shit.
R. Kelly is an open mic comic that can sing.
That's what he's doing. He's like, and then she came over.
Right.
I mean, Trapped in the Closet is like the greatest open
it's the
mic
greatest.
bit in all time. The fact that he was invited to MTV Movie Awards to perform it in real life, and played multiple characters.
And by the way, he's got another 18.
He's got a great voice.
He's got another 18
awesome.
fucking episodes of
Oh,
Locked in the Closet.
completely.
And it's just somebody talking about what happened, but he's like, look, motherfucker, I can sing.
That's
so
the thing. And
he's like, I could just talk about this banal shit that's going on.
No.
But like, I'm gonna sing it.
And
he's like, I'm not, like that, like Alfred Hitchcock. You remember that? You ever watch Alfred Hitchcock
In the
Presents?
beginning? Yeah.
Where he'd be, today we've got a story about. He'd do this like 20-minute intro. Some couples find difficulties when they're waking up in the morning. And you're like, all right, we can fucking get to the scary shit, you motherfucker.
Get to the dread. Get to the dread.
R. Kelly's been running the light
it's
for
not
15
like,
years.
Yes.
He's basically running the light.
He's running the light.
R. Kelly, the light
That's
going to
be the
Kelly's
name
life
of
is just
his.
flashing.
That's going to be the name of his like compilation CD when he dies.
You're running
his
the-
R.
running
Kelly
the light.
running the light. It's going to be everything he ever wrote.
Jay-Z's peoples maced him, and no one talked about
Listen,
that really.
I'm really glad that you mentioned this right now because
As
Mitch,
am I, because this is the first I'm hearing.
Jay-Z's entourage maced R.
Let's
Kelly.
set the stage for. So what you may not be aware of is there was a
Wait,
collaborative.
real quick. I'm sorry. I have to just ask a quick question for the both of you.
Yes.
When someone's entourage, and you put it in quotes,
Yeah.
does a bad on a fella Do you blame the fella who owns the entourage or the entourage themselves?
No,
I
they
mean,
re-
would
they-
you? Would
There's
you,
somebody
would you-
in the
would you-
entourage who is designated as a fall guy for the entourage. And there's always someone in the entourage that is willing to do
What I'm saying is,
3
do
to
you
5.
fault Jay-Z
Yeah, yeah.
for this interaction, or do you say, "Wow, this is
Jay-Z is
it
big
just
enough
so
to
happens
make
that-
it go away, but yeah, technically it falls under his jurisdiction.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Is like, is this something in your mind? Do you think like he ordered this, or like these are just friends of his who did some
Well,
shit?
here's
No.
what it is. Here's what it is. It's Jay-Z, like you said. Jay-Z doesn't have to go to jail behind it, but he has to pay the court fees. You see what I'm saying?
He's got to pay some lawyer fees.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about court of public opinion.
Oh no, it'll be court of public opinion. Everybody would know that, like, all right, that's Jay-Z's people, son. But what happened is, I'm trying to let
Okay,
you know.
go ahead,
Here's
please.
the story.
Let me know what
to,
you- 'cause
to
now
let you
I'm
know.
more curious about
Right.
the other stuff.
So Jay-Z and R. Kelly came together for a long, kind of anticipated rumored collabo, very similar to how he did with Kanye West.
And it was good.
In some areas, yes.
Yeah,
it was interesting, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
It was called Best of Both Worlds. Jay-Z, R. Kelly. And so
I heard about this.
All right.
I
Okay,
heard about
so,
this.
And
yeah.
then they did a Best of Both Worlds tour that got canceled early because
R. Kelly's.
R. Kelly, like, someone was at a show, flashed a gun at R. Kelly. He freaked the fuck out. Jay-Z's people was like, nah, son, you gotta be professional. Motherfuckers start getting maced and shit backstage. And then they were like, nah, tour's over because black people can't have nice things.
Right. But that was after, because they tried. That was after their first album didn't sell well because R. Kelly caught the case.
Yeah, so R. Kelly caught a case, and then he caught the girl peeing on situation.
Right, okay,
And so then
okay.
Jay-Z came out in a song
It
later
sold
on.
really well in Argentina when 6X Platinum. Just want you to know that.
Jay-Z addressed this in the streets in a song called Trouble, where he said, when the nigga Rob calls the police on me, y'all niggas ran out and copped the CD. What I discovered is that y'all is some snitch lovers. So that was Jay-Z's response
Wow.
to R. Kelly shutting down the tour. And shit is hot in the streets forever, son. You ain't never seen another Jay-Z R. Kelly collaboration ever. Even though he's from Chicago, Kanye from Chicago, them Chicagos ain't never gonna touch each other.
Something I've discovered about, because I'm a big fan of Wikipedia, and I don't know the rap game. When I look up rappers, I can tell how famous they are by how long the list of beefs is on the page. You know what I mean?
They list
Yeah,
the
right.
beefs.
They
and
list the
That's
beefs.
funny.
It's like various like.
You're not a real rapper if you don't got beef, son.
gotta
people,
beef.
people forget.
Look, I'll just pull up because I know Wikipedia's URL structure for well enough to do this. So let's
By
say
the way,
Jay-Z, just as an example, right? And there'll be personal life. Let's see. No. Here we go. Where the hell is the thing?
Where's the beef section?
Where's the beef?
Yeah, he had beef with Nas, with Oasis.
I think Burt Bacharach at one point had some beef with Jay-Z, son.
Oh, let's see.
I know Jay-Z and the Tony Awards went
You
at
know
it.
who's got them all? Eminem.
Eminem's got mad
Yeah,
beef with
50
everybody.
Cent,
so
too.
50 Cent has got the one of the greatest
Personal
21st
life, legal
century-
troubles, proof, death, feuds. There we go. Feuds
what
is
you're
the
looking for.
section. List of Eminem feuds is its own article, by the by.
Yeah, that seems very appropriate.
So it's
that's
like you
great.
know he's a popular artist because he's an entire article listed on his feuds.
There's some
You see what
really.
I'm saying?
well,
Like,
also here's the thing.
I
That
wonder
people,
if R. Kelly has.
R. Kelly should.
Go
Eminem
ahead.
definitely deserves his own feud page because he was one of the. He's one of the artists who, if you made the mistake of like trying to boost your career by like,
He
I'm gonna
lives
take
for
a
that.
shot.
He
Like
lives for that.
he is such a murderous writer. When he went at Everlast from House of Pain, and Everlast was like, "Yo, he didn't shake my hand at this fucking gig." He and D12 did a song that basically mocked Everlast for having a heart attack and being overweight, and various punchlines about punching you in the chest and starting your heart back up. Because Everlast also mentioned his daughter, which again, no for Eminem. So like your man will make sure he leaves a 5.5 minute diss record that if anyone looks you up, they'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't respect you anymore.
Yeah.
I can't do that. You can't do it." 50 Cent though, 50 Cent ruined Ja Rule's career, son.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better example in the 21st century of rap of another person like stopping a somewhat middling popular recording artist. Like Ja Rule was just churning out hits with Ashanti and having a nice little Ja Rule bubbly life. And then 50 Cent just came and he started calling him Jeffrey because that's his real
Yeah.
name.
I smell pussy. Is that you? You know, like,
that was a diss track. That was a diss track.
Yeah, but and one other thing I'm gonna say, two things. Well, the other thing I love about
And now back to the
Right.
greatest archive.
the thing I love.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Say
Well,
it.
because of like singing curses, right?
Sure.
But rappers talking about their beef, not rapping,
The YouTube era has taken us to
talking
a new
about
level.
their beef, but very nonchalantly. like there's this guy named Murder Mook, right?
Yeah.
And Murder Mook was like,
You know Murder Mook, right?
he was killing.
Yeah, me and him, we go way back.
He was killing on the rap
Me and
battle
the
scene.
Mook, yeah.
And then he had beef with a few people. And there's this clip of him walking through a park in Harlem, eating a sandwich. And again, brings me joy. Because he's like, I could be bothered with this. I could not be bothered with this. I could not care less, but I'll talk about it. And he's like, you know what I'm saying? When I had the beef with whatever. And you can't look at the camera. You can't engage.
Yeah, right. You're like
You-
talking to the producer off. Yeah,
Yeah, and he's eating like you have to look like you don't give a fuck. And that's just so funny to me that you clearly give a fuck. Someone came with this camera.
You know all these minute details about all these personal petty slights or whatever, but you're like, nah, son, you know what I mean? We just out here hustling. We don't care nothing about that
You know,
shit.
it's
son.
nothing, whatever. And you take a bite of the sandwich, and he's talking with his mouth full. It's like you're breaking every rule of like talking to a camera. And I don't know why that also.
It's also like Cameron, who became very famous on the internet for going on Bill O'Reilly's show and talking about rap and everything. And Bill O'Reilly was just doing his Bill O'Reilly thing, and Cameron just started going, "You mad? You mad, son?" So you've seen that photo. That's where that's from. It's just the Bill O'Reilly and just Cameron being like, "You mad, B?"
You mad?
You mad, son? Yo, he just sitting
mad,
there. You are not gonna phase Cameron, son.
Right,
Like, you know what I mean?
right.
This dude is like a bipolar rap artist who like rolls around and like has people in his crew that just get shot up all the time at red lights. But he has like a house in Ohio, and he talks about still like grimy New York rap battle shit in like a suburban backyard. And he's just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is out here in these streets. And I'm like, you got an 80-foot trampoline behind you, son. There's no streets anymore.
I love rappers. I love Ghostface, all of that. And by the way, I don't have a Wikipedia page. I tried to make one, and
Yeah.
a few years back, and I guess I messed up the wording. I didn't put anything that wasn't true.
Sure.
And
just wasn't supposed to exist.
These wiki nerds just fucking pounded on me, and they just kept erasing my page.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, "Yo, like, what do I got to do?" I mean, this. And then one of them said, we've done a Google search of your name suggests that maybe you have notoriety, but just the fact that you've been on TV is not necessarily a reason to have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there are porn stars who have Wikipedia pages.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
The biggest debate, or one of the biggest debates on Wikipedia ongoing, if you ever look at the talk pages, and don't.
Yeah,
but
no,
if
please
you ever
don't.
do, is what constitutes notoriety.
right. Well, these guys,
And to me,
And Dwayne Perkins is not that.
no.
I will tell you, like, for me, this is just like one of those things that were like in my life, in my head, I'm trying to figure like at what point do you define yourself famous, or do you define someone famous, especially in this new age?
Right.
To me, this is the definition. And this, by the way, should de facto give you a Wikipedia page. If you walk into a Japanese restaurant and the owner wants to take a picture with you,
Right. That's
put on the
funny.
wall?
That's funny.
that's it.
Listen,
You're famous.
my face
Like
hangs.
there's nobody else. There's no,
true.
you know what I'm saying? Like there's
That's a
no
pretty
other
solid
place.
standard.
As the
That's
number
solid.
one
You
fucking.
can build a foundation on
That's
that.
solid. My face hangs on my mechanic's wall,
Okay. All
which
right.
he's my mechanic.
All right.
But
Japanese restaurants just around the corner.
But here's what
It
happens.
literally doesn't matter. I don't care if you go to fucking
Yeah.
shitfuck Ohio or bumblefuck
Well, first of all, you need a
Nevada
new travel
or
guide because
wherever.
all your places. you
Paris,
visit.
Texas.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't Paris, Texas. I don't care if it's like a shitty small town with only a Japanese restaurant not run by Japanese people, but if there is a Japanese guy there
Yeah. What?
who wants to take a picture with you to
I
put
don't
on the
trust
wall,
that
Or-
town.
or-
then you're famous.
Or cleaners, and people. A comic showed up at my mechanic's office, kind of late, kind of with this problem. My mechanic was like, "Listen, we can't really, we got to leave. We can't mess with you." And she goes, "Oh, Dwayne Perkins." My mechanic says, "You know Dwayne?" She goes, "Yeah, I know Dwayne." Okay, boom, bring your car in. We got you.
How does that
You
man
see
not
what I'm
have a Wikipedia page? Fucking talk nerds.
Boom.
Fuck y'all
Blow it up.
motherfuckers. I dare you to get your face on some mechanic's office. And I bet your face was up there. Them motherfuckers would still close the shop down. They'd be like, oh, you know him?
Yeah.
You need to get your ass out here right now. I want to keep that up there to trust you motherfuckers and see which one of y'all
Now that's
is worthy
That's
or not.
where.
in Encino. I just came from there today. I
Who's
got
your
my
man?
oil change.
Who's your man up
Shout
there?
out to Sacco at Prestige Auto.
All right. I'm saying because like I would
That's the
recognize.
best shout out I think we've ever
I
given
mean,
on
look,
the show.
the first time I met you was at the fucking brewery. You know what I'm
Westwood.
saying?
Yeah.
The Westwood Brew. Westwood Brew Co., where it was a mixture of like huge comedians and like guys who have never done comedy before, who blew the right guy or whatever.
Right.
And so I didn't know, that's kind of the pro and con of it is that you didn't know who was going up. And so that was the first time I'd heard your name or seen you. And a joke you did that night, I later saw on Comedy Central, Shorties Watching Shorties, like 3 months later. I was like, oh my God, I know that guy. I talked to him for like 3 minutes. And so I that's something where it's like when I see your name come up, I know you were on the Greg Fitzsimmons podcast recently. When I see your name come up, I'm like, I fucking know that guy.
Well, the thing is, if I did it wrong, because if I worded because I get it, it's supposed to be purely informational with no Wikipedia, with no.
Can't sound like
no
a press
opinion,
release.
Right. And so I think maybe it sounded a little bit like a press release. So I'm like, all right, well, let me reword it. And they were like,
Dwayne,
no,
Big
no.
Dick Perkins.
Right.
Oh, that's not the lead? Okay. All right. What about-
Famous mostly for just plowing pussy.
Yeah,
when
right?
not delivering
But
multi-orgasms.
also,
You might know this guy.
Yeah, right.
and
also hilarious.
these guys just shut me down. And look, maybe I should have a very short page.
Maybe it should just be what you would call a stub.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I can tell you how to write it. I mean, if you look at like the occasional,
Because Mitch has been rejected.
the thing that surprises
But
me.
I've been
you know
on
what's
it.
odd is
Other people
actually,
have
I will
written-
say this:
yeah.
I've never actually tried to make my own Wikipedia page, but in the past, like
Right.
2 or 3 people have tried to make one for me, and they were like, "No."
You know,
and that's
other
it's
people
funny.
have tried to make one for me as well.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And the thing is, like, for onesies, the people who are going to make that page are going to be not anonymous. They'll have an account.
right.
And if you have an account, your account's probably going to be Dwayne Perkins,
Right,
whatever.
right.
Or Dwayne Perkins at gmail.com.
Yeah, but see,
or
mine
whatever.
has 2 ends.
Right.
See, versus
I don't even know the guy.
well, the thing is, like,
So the way to write it, the way that like if you the way to go is to look at something, look at a page where somebody has known like a gazillion people in their life, like your Elton Johns, your Paul McCartneys, something where somebody has been around and in the industry for like 50, 60 years.
right.
And they'll talk about various things that have happened through their lives and collaborations or movies. And you'll find a link in there of like a name you've never fucking heard of. And you'll click it and it'll be a paragraph.
Right.
That's the paragraph to steal. And it'll be like,
that's you.
Yes.
for yours, very basic.
Because I was
would
thinking,
be,
all right, well, I did some shit.
Where are you?
No. But if you keep scaling down,
Where do you, when they say Dwayne Perkins is from?
Yeah, Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
and,
Dwayne Perkins is a comedian, and that'll be, highlighted and linked.
right.
You have to link that. Dwayne Perkins is a comedian linked from Brooklyn, New York, who has appeared on such shows as Blankety Blank Show and so forth.
I kind of did that, yeah.
But
and I'm on Wikipedia from the Comedy Central's page.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just one of these things where these guys.
And that's where you
But you're
link
just all,
back.
you're all
what-
blacked out or read
what
it
you
out.
do
and shit.
is-
It was in the
what you do
discussion.
is
I
that-
couldn't fix the page.
What you do is
Uh-huh.
the place where you're linked on the Comedy Central page, or you're talked about, let's say, not
Right,
linked,
right.
but you're talked about on the Comedy Central page, is that there'll be a link near where you're mentioned,
Right.
or at where you're mentioned. If you copy that link and you use that as like,
I see.
Dwayne, he was on Comedy Central, and you link it, then it shows a footnote that
Right.
links to the Comedy Central page that shows the
Yeah.
anchor point to the. It's a
Well, I
I'm
may
just saying.
I may try again, but it's like 2 things. One, I have a system like I don't like when I feel like I've done something. I hate doing it again. So I kind of never went
I'm
back
with
to
you.
the
I'm
Wikipedia.
with you.
Especially after
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
got
I
your
get
door
it.
slammed.
Yeah, I
together.
never go back. And but maybe at some point. But they also
He was also on the Underline Link Straight Riffin podcast.
yeah. I just have a time like a I budget out my time for the week, and so like if Wikipedia takes 2 hours, then it throws off the rest of my week,
Sure,
and I'm
sure.
like, it's not that big of a deal, but it's an infinite space. It's a infinite encyclopedia.
Well, you know what it is?
So what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying?
I will say though.
I got so
What-
much. Oh,
Settle down. I will say though that you may give a second crack at Wikipedia with the old ebook. that
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
got,
there you go,
that
there you
you've
go.
got dropping.
I do want to talk about that, but
Yes.
you just reminded me. God, you just reminded me on the Greg Fitzsimmons podcast, you were considerably late,
Yeah.
and he gave you shit about it, and
Yeah.
you were like, "There's a few reasons for that," and you went through this whole thing, and part of it was your schedule for the week.
Yes, my grid.
And you were like, and but Greg Fitzsimmons, admittedly, he's a great podcaster. I'm not trying to say that he fucked up or anything else because it was an entertaining show, but there was never an actual explanation of your grid.
Right. Oh, I have my grid here. I started it a few years ago.
Because you were like, I allotted this amount of time to get to the show and do the show.
Right.
And he's like,
what
how
kind
does
of Tron ass grid are you working with over here?
Oh, it's, by the way, for all people listening to this, now that we're not competing with anybody anymore, go listen to the Fitz Dog podcast. It's
Wait, this is just 1
FITZDOG.
week? What kind of corporate ass? This is ridiculous.
Hold on, give me a minute. I'm plugging Dwayne Perkins here. FITZDOG, Fitz Dog on iTunes. You'll find it's not even that long ago, like maybe a month and a half ago.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Dwayne Perkins. And Dwayne showed up late, and the first half hour is dedicated to why.
Yeah, I explained.
And it was a cultural thing, and Dwayne talks about his grid. And I was curious to know more about this grid.
Holy shit! This
Yeah,
thing has got
what-
like 7
I'm not
different
even
colors.
looking at it.
It's got 7 different
Can I
colors.
see this thing?
I feel like I've just been transported back to my
Well,
corporate job,
well,
and having flashbacks.
Well, I'll say this: I went to this system when I started with Silly. I had it on the computer. Then when I got
Sure.
my iPad, I couldn't because it's called Taking Care of Business in a Flash. So I actually had at one point I had a lightning bolt with
TCBF.
right, with boxes.
no, it
inside.
was just lightning bolt doc is what.
And I couldn't superimpose the lightning bolt on my iPad thing, so I switched it up. But to explain it, I got to explain cake too, because cake is at
Yeah,
the-
no, you talked about it on there, but feel
Yeah.
free to do it on here. That's
Cake.
fine.
Well, starting back.
So what is this Excel?
It's like Excel. It's called it's not Pages. It's
Numbers.
Office or something.
I'm just gonna hold it up.
Yeah.
Nobody can really make out.
Because of the lights.
Yeah.
I can send you the file.
No,
too.
no, it's fine.
Well, no, we're gonna put a screenshot of this. We're gonna put a screenshot of his.
Well, maybe I don't want everybody to know your schedule, or maybe you don't. I don't know.
but it's not like
you
it's
ain't
for the
gonna be
week.
able to understand
Yeah.
that gibberish.
They won't understand it. Yeah.
all right.
So yes, taking care of business in a flash.
Jesus,
And
I
it's-
don't understand
and-
this at all.
And you see cake, CAK.
Yeah.
So the first C is content,
Okay.
right? The A is administration. The second C is a hard C, or it can be a K. It's conditioning, working out.
Right.
And then the E means elevation. So content.
You got 0 hours spent for guitar, or allotted for guitar.
Well, because I was up in Portland and I didn't have my guitar, so I just said I'm just not going to do guitar this week. So yeah, so you got Spanish, you got guitar, you got yeah. So content is blog writing.
I'm gonna take a
script writing.
screenshot right now, and you're gonna send this to me.
You take a screenshot of it.
There we go.
I'll send it
Took
to you.
All right.
Because it's
And,
gonna take Mitch about 2 weeks to try and figure out what's happening.
Yeah.
On the thing.
So
It doesn't even matter. People can look at that and be like, "What the fuck does that even mean?"
I came
Told
up with
you.
cake, and it was like, like I said, content, writing
Yeah,
is
yeah.
administration, getting gigs, booking gigs, website stuff, all that stuff.
Right.
Hot cocoa.
Yeah, and then so cake and hot cocoa is just
Wait, what was K
working on
again?
that.
That's the ebook.
We're
the
gonna ebook.
C is the second C is
The second C is soft K.
Is conditioning,
Right,
but I
right.
changed it to a K, conditioning with a K.
okay.
I don't
so
trust you
what,
anymore,
what,
brother.
Wait, I'll come up with another word. I'll
Yeah.
come up with another word. But what would
So-
you consider conditioning?
Working out. Yes,
That's
that's
it?
That's just
That's it?
where it's
Keto.
working out. Yeah, keto.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool, keto. There you go,
There you go. Keto.
keto. And so for me, it was like if I do these things diligently and I do them each day. It started out back in the day. It was like
Content acquisition, keto, and
Administration.
administration, keto, and
Oh,
elevation.
sorry. Content administration, keto, and
Elevation.
elevate. Oh, that's the guitar.
Just personal stuff that's not really about career or anything. but just,
You know my soul and what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Why
just-
not call it extracurricular?
Okay, I could call it that too. That's even better. This see, Mitch is helping me out. Extracurricular. But that's Spanish, learning Spanish.
Extracurricular, yes.
You know,
Like all the things on the
reading.
everything in the E list
Yeah,
is on my everyday for the last 50 years list.
oh, nice.
I'm not even 50, but I'm just
Right,
saying.
right.
When I was
Before
in the womb,
born, there was a
when I was in
list.
the womb, I was like, I gotta read more.
When I came into this world, they told me I was late.
And so
They were like, learn the guitar. I was like, yeah, all right.
yeah, it started in '96.
Now, what are you using for Spanish? You using that?
I
That
have
what's the
I have a
thing?
few things.
Rosetta Stone.
I have Rosetta Stone that
Yeah,
I
I got that, yeah.
purchased in Shanghai from a market.
It's real street
You mean
purchase.
to say you pirated it from China?
Well, what happens is I went to this place.
Okay, we'll see what happened was.
And the guy took me there, and he was like, "Listen, it's the real Rosetta Stone. They make them here. So what happens is one will fall off a truck, and he said the same thing about super dry clothes, about everything. He said they
Right,
they
right,
make all
right.
this.
and then all of a sudden,
Everything falls
I
off a
was just
truck in
deep
Shanghai.
underground, and it's fucking.
And so the name of the market is something in Chinese I can't remember right now. And
You
then,
realize that's where the term "don't Shanghai."
right.
Yeah.
So then later, when I said, "What does this mean in English?" After he told me this is the real deal, it means it's the fake market. That's the literal translation is the fake market. So I did like the Rosetta Stone people. I tell you, like I told the Final Draft people.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. I think
Because this is what I told the Adobe people.
yeah, I told the Final Draft people. I'm gonna just copy Final Draft, okay? When I sell a script, I swear to God, I'm gonna buy Final Draft. And so,
yeah.
and
That's, and the other thing is, like with the Adobe software, they don't worry so much about personal piracy, and maybe Final Draft is the same way. They don't
Right,
worry.
right.
Well, Final Draft is a little bit different because there's not so much companies writing screenplays.
right.
There's individuals. But with Adobe software, there are companies.
Right.
So it's like Adobe makes like 95% of their income
from
from
companies.
companies
Yeah.
buying the Adobe suite
Right,
of
right.
software, and so the early piracy of all the Adobe products I could get my fucking hands on that got me into the industry has made it so that any company I go to that won't buy Adobe products
Right,
or
I see.
upgrade to the latest shit, I won't work for them.
Right,
so
right,
you can
right,
go
right.
fuck yourself. It's like I don't make that
Right.
money.
So you
it's not like
basically-
I get any of the money.
you force that company to buy Adobe products.
Yeah,
I'm out here
Exactly.
working these streets for you, Adobe.
Yeah.
Always
Right,
have
right.
been, baby.
And Adobe knows that. To be fair, Adobe is like very like hands off. They're like whatever.
Right.
Like they could give it. And Maya, the people who make the big Maya 3D software, they have a personal teaching edition where you can. It's the full like the huge like $2,000
Right.
suite. It's
Nice.
actually less constricted than any other suite you can buy unless you're
Right.
fucking
Well, and
Pixar. But it's the full thing. But when you export, it has a little like watermark in the corner.
Oh, right.
So it's like if you're just learning it and you're trying to like one day get a 3D
Yeah,
job,
exactly.
that doesn't hold you back at all.
Well, I was
So,
telling
go
you
ahead.
guys, two things. One, I have subsequently I've purchased Final Draft. Haven't even sold the script yet, but I've
Right.
written a few.
But the guilt caught up with
I
me.
bought it.
but you're like into Scrivener.
Yeah, Scrivener, exactly.
Yeah.
I laid my book out with Scrivener. They let
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
They just said, "Here, use it." I was like, "This is hot," and I'm going to buy it, and I'm expecting to pay like hundreds of dollars, $35. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna buy it. You know.
Yeah.
So anyway, with Rosetta Stone, I have Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
I have Learning Spanish Like Crazy. My brother gave that to me.
Okay.
Was
And,
it like the Insanity P90X of
yeah, right. It's like
Jumping Jacks and Linguistics.
there's a guy who may be gay. Like, listen, you got to dig deep, and he has his shirt off.
It's like, why am I learning Spanish in a warehouse right now?
The only thing other than Rosetta Stone that I've heard that works, and I don't know the name of the book, but there's like several books like it, but it's it's from a guy who was like in the CIA. Who wrote a book about how to learn foreign languages because he was like, look, I got 2 weeks before I have to go to Spain and blend in.
I feel
And
like
he's like, you know what I mean?
I feel like he comes up on the side of my Yahoo page. This guy,
Yeah.
in the banner.
Why do you go to Yahoo still?
Something like the government doesn't want you to know, but it's like ridiculous. Like
Do you-
learn
do you
a
have a-
language
do you
in
have
10
like a-
seconds. They don't want you to know about this, but
Do you have like a personal like thing with Yahoo? Like they were there from the beginning. I'm
no,
sticking
it's
with
like
Yahoo.
it's like my cell phone number. It's just I have a Gmail account too, but it's sort of like
Oh, your Yahoo Mail. All right.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yahoo Mail,
all right.
Yahoo Mail.
Okay, yeah.
And so
I mean, don't give that out in public.
No,
But I mean, I get it. I get
and
it.
there's a BU.
Forward your Gmail to Yahoo. I get it.
There's another site, BUSUU, Spanish. You can learn any language. And
Sure,
I
sure.
pay a little bit of money for that site, but that it's like a.
How good are you at Spanish now? And how
think-
long you been working on
I think that it's. I think for me, I'm just building up vocabulary, and then at some point, go to Spain or somewhere
And immerse.
and put it all together. Yeah, but I'm okay. Like, in fact, this is crazy. Like years ago, before I even started relearning Spanish, I was in Germany.
So you took it in high school.
Took it
like
in high
me.
school.
Yeah.
I was in Germany. I was hanging out with this German chick, solid. She spoke English and German and Italian. Her mom didn't speak English, but her mom spoke like Spanish, blah, 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 like 5 languages, but English wasn't one of them. And I was shocked at how much Spanish I was like recalling while talking to her mom.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I felt like, listen, I did bang your daughter. So
So let me go ahead and find a language that we can communicate in and conversate.
I remember I drunkenly
Great hospitality.
I drunkenly and accidentally turned my iPhone Spanish. And same
Nice.
kind of thing. I was amazed how much I was like, oh, that means warning. You know what I mean? It's like
Right,
that
right.
means this. This is language. This means English, whatever.
Cuidado.
Yeah, cuidado or whatever. Yeah,
But like-
Cuidado.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can write. I can read it pretty well. I
Right,
can't
right.
speak it that well. Like I can do the accents.
Nice.
If you
I could build a good
if you
facade.
wrote out like a paragraph, I could
Right.
probably read it in a Spanish dialect pretty well.
Oh, nice.
radio promo
you
all
know,
day.
you know that I think that I'm not sure if Rosetta Stone has this, but there was another thing I had that was like learn German and learn Spanish. It was like a DVD thing, and I was interested in learning the German one, which is wildly impractical in LA. But even still, I like the
It's
German
not like
language.
English though. It's more like English than people know.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I was like, yeah, that'll be my first step to like learning a new language. And then I'll be like figure out how to learn a new language. Then I'll move on to Spanish because German's relatively easy insofar as that,
Right,
except for
right.
German has a lot of weird things with like nouns and verbs where it's like, oh, that's a female verb, so you need to use this instead of
Right,
that.
right,
and you're
right.
like rain in the air is masculine. When it's falling, it's feminine. When it's hit the ground, it's masculine. If it hits you, it's feminine.
Yeah, all that makes
It's-
sense.
you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
That's how I
so
live
the
my
way
life all
that
the
you
time.
refer
Get
to-
this woman ass rain off me, dude.
It goes from like
I need a
do
poncho.
It goes from like do and das rain,
Right,
you know,
right,
like
right.
6 times or whatever it is. Anyway, so there was a thing on the thing that was there was a thing on the DVD that was like it would give you a paragraph of text and it would say like say this paragraph in German and it would test how much you sound native. And I consistently scored in like the 90 percentile.
that's-
And I was like,
Yeah, I have a hard
that's
time
like
with
all
the
I want to
accents.
do is like
Yeah,
just sound like it. If I can get the words out, like if I'm using the right words, I just want to sound.
If I can sound good enough at a language so
Right,
that
right.
someone who speaks
I
it
can-
wants to
I-
help me.
I can say, and I'll fuck up the words, but I'll sound German enough. I can say
I can pass at a rally.
I want to. I can say I want to fuck you like an animal in German.
Nice.
Which is actually, you know what? I'm gonna say your Lord and Christ are shit under my shoe in German because that one I know.
That's a pretty big change.
Herr Lord und Christ sind die Scheiße auf der Unterseite meines Schuhs.
That sounds pretty
Yeah,
good.
it sounds
That
right,
sounds-
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, my goal isn't to speak Spanish and sound Spanish. I
Oh.
want to sound like my dry cleaner. You know what I'm saying? Like how they sound in English. Yeah.
Me gusta el taco.
Right. Like
like the herky jerk conversation. Like,
Yeah,
comrade.
yeah. Listen, you want steam, no?
Yeah.
Like I want to. Yeah.
Listen, steak inside of tortilla, yes?
Starch.
I've always thought it was weird when I've met people who have a native language they speak and they're friends with or their relatives also natively speak that language and they also speak English well enough to talk to me and they'll say like, where are you going? And you're like, what? Did you just say the same thing twice? Like it's that weird thing where like I was down at the and I found a shubraba and
Right.
I thought rutabaga is awesome and we should and you're like, why do you do that? Like why
Right,
not just
right,
use
right.
all the
You know
words?
what? I remember as a kid, though,
in the language you know.
in Texas, the first time I, saw Spanish speaking, You know, I saw Latinos do the thing where they just effortlessly switch to Spanish mid-sentence.
Right.
And then just kept going with English, you know, like office workers or whatever. And I remember the first time I watched that, and I thought to myself, I was like, I know why they don't trust y'all now. Like,
Right. But you know,
That's the other thing is I want the only reason I really want to know foreign languages is so like if I'm on a fucking elevator and there's like two Mexican ladies talking, I can just be like,
because I was like, listen, I know, like I happen to know the language that is you know predominant around the globe, so like I'm cool, baby. You know what I mean? I don't know some like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you gotta like work to learn what I'm saying, motherfucker. That's how good it is.
You can be driving in Japan. I mean, deep in Japan, from one city to another city, and that whole way, the signs are in English.
It's crazy, son.
That's like,
it's
yo.
crazy. But yo,
that's why it's like that's why
switch
to me,
to another language. All
that's
of a sudden,
why
like,
to me it's better to know a foreign language, even though everybody's sort of switching towards English language because we're all fucking lazy. And we have a terrible education system.
English is
but
so
like,
hard, dude.
even still, it's like it would be nice to know because you look at me, you know I know English. If I don't say a fucking word, I can go to any country in the world. They're like, this guy's doesn't speak English.
But everyone knows a little bit of English.
Ni hao.
But you know, the people who go back and forth on that fluent thing. I had a roommate. He was Cuban, you know, like a black Cuban guy, but he spoke Spanish.
Dominican Lou.
Yeah.
So you were like, which part of the island are you from?
And we were watching Spanish TV, and he was, you know, translating for me. And the way his brain worked, he was like, "Oh, she's saying this, she's saying that." I'm like, "Okay." The English came on, and he didn't know they were speaking English. He was still translating it, and I was like, "Yeah, you know, I because they're speaking English, I kind of know." I know what they're saying now.
I get it now, bro. I got the plot now. I got the plot.
I actually translated. I was in a laundromat in New York, and this woman came in. It was I think a Chinese lady, Asian woman, thick accent, but you know she knew how to say like, "You want some change?" and you know, fold dry. And, like she knew enough to work in this laundry.
Yeah.
And
get that Skrilla, baby.
And this white lady came in. She was all like just up in arms. She's like, "This machine took my money. I don't know what's going on. I need help. Why don't they learn English?" You know, and then. And she goes to the Chinese lady. I think she was Chinese, and like Chinese lady's speaking English, and the white lady's like, "What are you saying? I don't even know what's going on." So I step in, right, and I'm like, "Oh, like so." The Chinese lady's talking to me in English,
right,
and then I'm saying to the white lady in English, well, what she said was, you know, why don't you? She'll reimburse you. Just give her this and fill out this, and then I'm going back. I'm translating English to English.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, I'm terrible with accents, so go ahead.
I'm translating English, and that's fine. But the white lady says to me, I swear to you, she says to me, "You speak Chinese?" I was like, "No, I don't."
But I will take you out to the bar later.
Yeah, but I know you an easy mark now.
Right.
No, I mean like that's I'm terrible with accents. Like there's people who talk to me and they're like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, you're gonna have to say like 6 times." And it's like, no, he was saying the amount that you gave me is wrong.
Right.
How did you hear that?
That's
like I'm terrible at that. That's why I feel like if I knew what language, I'd be like, "Oh, okay." It's because I know how the accent is supposed to work or whatever.
It's context. When I was in Shanghai, we were in a cab following another cab to this destination to a show. And the guy we're following, you know, you follow someone and they act like you're not following them.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting in the front with the Chinese cab driver.
I'm kind of sad that you know this, but
And
all right.
and the guy we're following starts doing like he gets all, you know, Jeff Gordon on us. He's and then
just zooming through, like, why are you speeding up right now?
we're following you. You know, we don't know where we're going.
We're in a caravan, B.
So then the Chinese driver,
literally strangers in a foreign land right now.
And the Chinese driver looks to me and points at the guy, and he's like, whatever he says. And I'm like, yeah. And so we both knew what we were saying. He was saying basically, what the fuck is this guy doing?
What's wrong with your boy?
I'm following him.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, true indeed. But it wasn't like.
That's right. It's like, it's that basic human communication where it's like, listen, like, the language that we, you know, have been given to express whatever, all this mismatch of things going in right now, is going to vary. But underneath that, is a real common foundation of, listen, dude, like like yo, do you know how following works, son? Like that's a basic concept, dude.
Right,
Like it don't matter what language you express it in.
You just ran a red light, and what are we gonna do now?
Now we stuck. You know what I'm saying? We got rickshaws everywhere, B. Like, what is the game right now? Can't see you through all this rigmarole going on. That's how you know at the end of the day there's that one basic human species there, because like that's how it is, right? Like cab drivers everywhere are gonna be like, oh my god, this motherfucker right here.
Yeah. I got a buddy. His father is Japanese, mother's Vietnamese, and his mother doesn't speak English. He doesn't speak Vietnamese. His mother doesn't speak Japanese.
Wait,
his
so
father
like,
speaks Japanese and Vietnamese.
well, this is
so
like, oh
so
my
I'm like,
God,
how
you're
did you?
slipping back to like 7th grade
How did
math
you-
right now?
I'm like,
what?
I'm like,
how did you talk to your mom? You
No,
know,
we didn't.
And he was like, yeah, you know. I was like, whoa, what?
Like, wait, you can't just glide over that, dude. You can't. So wait, how did your home life communicate to each other? Oh, we just did with a lot of angry, cold stares, and just very passive aggressive hugs.
But it was probably like you know, he's hungry and he just goes like this,
Yeah.
and she's, oh, you want to eat? And,
Probably
you know.
not even that, bro. Probably after a while, just a plate is just on the table, just an empty plate, and he's just pointing at it, looking at it, being like, what that is. You know what language that is? It's called hunger, bitch. It's the same in every book.
Exactly. And I know, I mean, I can't say, I don't want to get you guys in trouble, but I feel like every man is, at some point, wished he was with a girl who didn't speak the same language as he spoke. It would just be so solid. It would just be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm
Like,
actually.
I
I
know,
worked.
I've never
I worked,
had that,
I
but
worked in the.
I'm
Let me
intrigued.
say this.
You
I
literally
worked-
cannot tell me about your day. You can't.
I worked back in the day as my helping.
Oh, that's so terrible.
Back in the
That's so
day,
terrible.
many years ago, I worked at an arcade
Yeah.
in Orange County, and I worked with a guy who was blind beyond, I think, like 4 inches or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that.
Legally,
yeah, like
legally blind. Yeah.
like fucking in both eyes. Like if I wanted to read something, he'd hold it up to his face to a degree that like would make me uncomfortable. Or like I
Right.
can't see this anymore. I just see pixels or whatever. But that's like how he saw. He would like hold it up to his eyes, like practically covering his vision.
Right.
And he wasn't an attractive guy, admittedly. And he sort of felt bad for himself. And I was like, listen, you're at an advantage because any woman you meet could be the most gorgeous woman you've ever met. And
Right.
you'll treat everybody the same. And he did. He was very like
Shallow Hal.
non-judgmental
Yeah.
and things like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, shallow hell, bro. Real life shallow
Yeah.
hell, son.
So I was like,
you
I was like,
see, Dwayne's been hitting that
I
late
said-
night TVS circuit. Absolutely, I know exactly where this is headed.
I said,
Just like Made in
the
Manhattan.
benefit is, I said the benefit is that you could meet a woman and you guys get along and you don't ever have to wonder like, oh, does she looks ugly in person?
Right,
Like,
right.
Because like, look, you've talked to people in your past
Completely.
who's like, you haven't necessarily met them or seen them up close, and I was like, you're good. And I was like, that's a benefit
No.
I wish I had.
Right. And this may not.
Yeah, go by all means.
For
Go
us,
ahead,
this
do
may
it.
not work for us because we have this sense. But I literally know a guy who cannot smell, and so
Okay. So he can eat all the pussy.
right. So it's like
Right, I got.
there's this girl who's real groovy, and
Joey's making the worst news in the world, bro. Like that's like I hear like the worst blind date in the world about to be stood up, being like, okay, my man,
So listen, homeless Samantha, we
I
just
would-
call her that because
you're the
we don't know where
you're
she
the
lives.
only friend that I could give this news to. You know, like he's like, hey, did you try to hook her up with anybody else? Nah, B, nah. She's all about you. You know what I mean? She's like so perfect for you. She's jonesing for it.
so this guy can't smell. So it's like if you're a girl and you're groovy, but just there's a situation.
Yeah, sure. Now, to be fair,
No one has described a girl as groovy in like 40 years. And of course, it's Dwayne before he like hooks up with a dude who can't smell. It's like, yo, like, what is she groovy? Dude, she's groovy, bro. She's so groovy. I want you guys to watch this Brady Bunch made-for-TV movie.
but
and just camp out.
here's the downfall of that. The downfall of that is like to get whatever. Your sense of smell and taste
Right.
are huge evolutionary things. For instance, have you ever tasted the core of an apple with the seeds in it?
Yeah. I
Tastes
have.
like fucking shit, right?
Right,
It's like,
right.
it's just like there's no way it tastes good.
It's when you take that extra bite when you like.
Yeah.
When you're trying like there's more apple. And then you're
Right, right.
you're
Yeah.
like, I went too far. I went for the vault.
Right.
And
Here's the thing. The seeds of an apple core are poisonous.
I see.
I don't know if it's strychnine.
Well,
It's something. It's something. Basically, it's a poisonous substance in
Right.
nature. Basically,
Right.
It's admittedly you have to eat like as an adult. You have to eat like 50
Yeah, but
of
if
them.
you're a hunter-gatherer bee and you find an apple orchard, son,
Right.
you
I
gonna
get it. I get
Right,
it. No,
right.
but what I'm saying is like if you ate them, it's something like literally you have to eat like 50 or 60 seeds.
Right. But because they taste bad, you won't eat them.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah, exactly
Right,
because
right.
they taste bad, your body goes no, and that's your body going like it's like the same thing with alcohol. The first time you taste alcohol, you're like this tastes like shit because your body's like
Because
no,
you
no,
don't
no.
hate yourself
This
enough.
is gonna exactly
Right.
The loathing hasn't
It's
caught up to
your
the
brain
surface.
going like no, this is gonna do bad things to you. But eventually, yeah, you power on because you're like I don't give a fuck.
But then your soul rises
I
up
know
and
what
it's
it-
like, give me the juice.
I know what it's gonna do to my body. I want it. I want it. I
My
want it
mind's
to
telling me
numb my
no.
body.
But my body's telling me yes.
All right, R. Kelly, calm down for a minute.
That's just,
My
that was
point
his
is that,
open
like,
mic audition right there.
My
That was
point
it.
is that scent and smell and scent and taste are extremely like important insofar as like what will damage
Survival.
you.
Yeah.
And so, for instance, if a vagina genuinely smells like rank,
Yeah.
or
I can see that.
it's
see that.
because
Again, though,
it's because there's like an infection.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like the whole douching thing. Like you don't need to do that.
No.
If you're,
in fact, that
if
could
you're-
hurt things.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
exactly. And it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
And it can, it like if you take care of it, if you're fucking well washed
Right.
and you don't have a yeast infection,
But I think-
you don't have herpes, things like this.
But I think if you,
then you don't need to do all
but if
that
you
business.
don't have the ability to smell,
right?
I think when you meet girls,
then
you just
what
tell
you're
them
doing
off top.
is fucking with
Right. But you tell them
SE
off top.
girls.
Listen, I can't smell.
yeah, you got to
Oh,
lead.
I
with
wouldn't
that.
tell
So-
that. No.
You
so-
got to lead,
wait,
son.
so-
Are
so-
you got to lead, right?
Right. So I can't go
bury
down.
that.
I can't go down on you because.
By the way, I
I'm
was
not
just
saying you
reminded
would
by
lead
the
me
chat
astray.
room that,
Yeah, right.
the apple seed
Yeah.
is arsenic. I was told that, so
Nice.
there we
Way to go,
Just
Ripopolis.
adding that.
Arsenic.
Coming through in the
Nice.
Adding
finale
that out.
with the
Nice.
facts.
I hope
Ripopolis.
they looked that up. I don't know
So,
for sure.
As somebody who
Anyway,
killed somebody
all
with a
right,
bunch
go
of
ahead.
apple cores, they
Go ahead.
grinded that shit up and they're like, yeah, that shit is arsenic. Yeah, I can tell you all
That's
about
arsenic.
that.
Yeah.
And there's no traces of it. When you leave them.
And by the
And
way,
then when you could use the excess to make applesauce, so everybody wins, basically.
there's not a tiny amount of arsenic in LSD for anybody who does acid. And back in the day, I used to, and
It's
I
definitely
would still do it again, but
interesting
it's just
turn.
very difficult to find.
right,
But
right.
like when you do acid, people go like, "Oh, that thing where you're stretching and like you feel like everything crack," and it's like, "Oh, that's the arsenic," or that's the strychnine, as they would say.
Right.
And I used to stretch out, and I'd call them niner sizes because I was like, I'm getting the strychnine now. It turns out that all that shit comes from caffeine. Caffeine mixed with LSD will give you that. If you just drink
Oh.
like water or vitamin C or whatever,
So
you're fine.
so you were having LSD that was cut with caffeine? Is that?
No.
Oh.
I'm saying that like there is.
It was stepped
Took
on.
LSD and Mountain Dew.
The
Is that what you're
the problem prior to the internet was that when
Ignorance.
when it came to drugs, you
Yeah,
had to just trust your buddy.
Oh, I see.
It's like I know a sign. So like when you did, I've done acid 150 different times or so.
Wow.
And it's like so yeah.
Well, there's this Asian
That's
guy
why
on
I can do a
YouTube
show like this.
that tells you how to make acid. He won't put a shirt on.
Like, yeah, right. Dwayne, I was gonna say, wait a minute, this gentleman sounds very familiar. Who are all these Asian gurus that are like, you want to learn? First, shirt is gone. Get abs.
But
So people would say to you like, oh, the reason you get those like weird like have either of you ever done acid?
I
No, I
haven't.
haven't dropped it.
Neither. Okay. Well,
I've seen a lot of friends though.
I know it's a white people drug.
It's recreational freakouts is white people
Yeah.
personified, dude.
Until rappers start rapping about
So
it.
LSD and shit. LSD, like when you take acid as a tab and things like that, people will say things like, "Oh, the way that they get the LSD to attach to the paper is with strychnine," but it's such a ridiculous thing if you know anything about science. And I later learned, and I was like, "Oh God, I feel stupid."
I see.
Is I learned that there wouldn't be any strychnine in it first, and then like maybe many years later, I was like, "But why is this? Why do I get the things?"
Right.
And it turns out that was from drinking soda and other caffeinated products. But acid on a piece of paper as small as it is measured in microns, not milligrams, not anything.
Right.
Microns, which are like 1/1000th of a milligram, I think. And I could be
Sounds
wrong.
about right.
But LSD on paper, it's something like 0.08 micrograms or 0.8 whatever it is.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about like it's one of the strongest chemical components that can affect the brain in the history of anything.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm
In
saying?
such a small amount.
In such a small amount that micrograms can fucking screw you up. So a microgram versus strychnine, for instance, you need something like 30 milligrams to throw up, and like 40 milligrams will kill you.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And especially in an LSD, you'd have to eat an entire, what they call a Bible. You'd have to eat like 1,000 or so, like 4,000 fucking hits of acid all at once.
Right.
And you'd die from a lot of other things before then.
Right.
Let's go down the list
before
of that
before the strychnine would even make you throw up. So if you lace it with strychnine, it's like not only would it not do anything at all, but it's like why would you bother introducing another chemical element into the acid?
Right.
It can soak up the paper just fine.
I got
the
you.
reason why blotter paper is so thick is because it soaks up liquids well.
I see.
And that's why you use that for acid.
When you say you kept saying strychnine, it just made me think of stroke nine. They were a band.
I remember them. Yeah, they had a one hit.
Strychnine, yeah.
Little black backpack.
Yeah, yep. That was one of the songs that would come on at various public places, and I was like, God, I hate everything that brought this to this store right now. Yeah, I can't even shop for food without being inundated.
Don't
by this terrible.
don't wanna talk about it. I say why.
Did you
Sorry,
listen to
sorry.
a lot of Stroke Now when you were putting together your ebook?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was.
like-
Sorry, I did
hot
want to.
chocolate
I did
coming
want,
on,
thank
going
you.
on
I did
right
want
now.
to
No,
get.
it's all good,
I
it's all
did
good.
want to get to your book. That was the whole reason you booked this show.
Yeah. You know. Well,
Yeah,
no.
Dwayne
I
called
just
me at the
talk to
improv.
About the whole
Dwayne called me at the
reason.
improv,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, what's going on? I got this ebook coming on.
Right.
Yeah. I gotta talk to y'all. Yeah, I'll tolerate you.
Right. No. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fun.
He had a
All right,
cape on.
let's
It
do
was
it.
real
Let's
weird.
do it.
I can talk to you guys all day.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So it's called Hot Chocolate for the Mind. I started writing my blog many moons ago, and
What's the blog called?
it's a very funny blog.
That's what it's called.
.com, but also I also own a funnyblog.com. So it depends on what day and how you're feeling.
Yeah, right. If you
wanna
really
go
want to feel
very-
audacious,
And it's on my website too, DwaynePerkins.com/blog. And I remember it started back in the MySpace days, and one girl wrote, she was an avid, a loyal reader, and she said one day in the comment section, she was like, it's like you're God. And then so I didn't want to really run with the God thing, but I felt like, the funny essays, things that happen, like the thing I tell you about me translating English to English.
Yeah.
I wrote a blog about that. But there is, I never try to be positive, but there was sort of a positive flow to it, but it wasn't like
I know the
Never
feeling.
try to be positive.
I get it, bro. Believe
Right,
me.
right, right.
Hey, preaching to the choir over here.
But I mean, I'm not.
You're not over here.
I'm not.
Sorry.
I'm not hitting people over the head with it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I realized that my whole vibe is not to inspire you. You know what I mean?
Keep it
It's
going.
more just to sort of like give you truth and truth inspire you. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
I can't get you there.
And your mind.
Sure,
Like
sure.
I'm not worried about your soul as much as
Sure.
I'm worried about your mind.
Sure.
Because if your mind is in the right place, I think it helps your soul. And I know
It's that thing is like if you can lead people just before the gate that opens their problems and they go, oh,
right.
then they won't. They'll figure it on their own and they won't feel like they were forced into it and
Yes.
they'll figure it out on their own.
Yeah. So
But like if you go like, here's your problem, then they're like, I don't name me, and they'll run away and they'll be like, that's not the problem.
That's too real.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then they
exactly.
disappear. Yes.
Yeah,
So I
I
call
know.
it-
I know what you're talking about.
So I mean, it's mainly just funny stories, but there might be, people might,
Get some medicine slipped in there.
people might feel good about it. So that's why I call it hot chocolate for the mind. Chicken soup is for the soul, hot chocolate is for the mind, and it's like comfort blogs. Comfort is a comfort book. You read it, you laugh, you have a good time, and then you feel better. But it's like, oh, that was not. It's like I guess like Robitussin a little. Something that's.
Get some
like-
of that tussin on it.
Like
yeah.
Flintstone,
Put a little
Flintstone
tussin.
chewables,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, hey,
This
wasn't
is
too-
really good. I hope these are in. I don't know if ebooks have jackets, but I hope that you get some blurbs from somebody.
Right,
that's-
right.
I'm sorry.
I don't
You
know
can't
if ebooks
pretend
have
that
jackets.
There's no. You got to put that on the board. There's no way you don't know that ebooks have jackets. They don't have jackets.
They don't. Yeah, they
They're
absolutely do not have jackets.
ebooks.
Oh, you caught that, did you?
That's not. That's not e. The e does not stand for economy. Or like economy book. Oh, it's paperback and it's written on your aunt's fucking call list. I don't know if ebooks have jackets.
Now listen, I ain't no scholar, and I don't know everything about ebooks.
It's a new market that's burgeoning over here. You know what I mean? But well,
Maybe the greatest thing you've ever said. I'm glad it happened here.
Let's see, check out the
I'm
cover.
glad. There we go. There we go. Oh, look at that! It's the Dwayne
Hot chocolate
Perkins
for mine.
face in a. Is that a bowl? Is that a cup of hot chocolate? I can't
Cup
tell.
of
if
hot
it's-
chocolate.
Oh, I see the
Cup
handle
of
over
hot
there.
chocolate.
You know what's? You know
If
how-
I may, and I
Yes.
don't mean to be a critic.
Are you gonna say whipped cream?
No, I
Okay,
would have
that's
said
what
make
people-
your face white.
Yeah. Some people say marshmallows. Some people say whipped
No,
cream.
son.
No,
you
because
gonna make your face
have you
white on hot
seen-
chocolate for the mind.
have you
Don't listen to
seen-
these white devils over here.
Have you seen the fucking baristas that make art?
Oh yeah.
in
The
that's what I would have made it look like.
Listen,
but hey,
Fuck all that. Let me tell you
it's a
something.
great title.
What you can't appreciate is the fact that your man's face also appears in the spoon.
That's what's
son.
up. That's what's up. A lot of people
y'all
don't
be
know that.
like, oh, yo, let me just see the coffee mug. Your man is also peeking over the mug in the spoon, being like,
All right,
surprise. You were like, wait, is this guy black? And in the spoon, he's
well,
like,
in the
yes.
future, if in the future, should you need some graphics for
Look,
your
I'm
ebook,
so glad that
you
put
can hit
yourself
up your
in
man
this.
Mitch.
Oh, I didn't know. I
I'm a
didn't
graphic
know.
designer.
This my man Action Dave did this. Shout out to Action Dave Kessler.
Action
and,
Dave.
Oh
Get-
shit!
get
Now
your
I feel
spoon
like I'm-
work on.
All right, don't. I'm not down dissing the guy. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
It's great work. Great work. It's just. A
Let me
personal-
tell me how the spoon came about.
If you need in the future,
Yeah, no, I got you. No, I think the
if you
spoon
want to
was-
compare two guys' opinions on a thing,
Right.
I like competing.
Well, I sent him a few pictures.
My
And,
sport.
yeah, I think he just wanted to. That was all him to put my face in the spoon.
yeah.
It
Good.
was-
No, the face
yeah,
of the
yeah.
spoon is genius. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
he did a great job. I'm not.
But
dissing
I'm
the guy's
feeling
work.
you on the barista artwork.
That's what I was
And
thinking. Is
we're
barista
gonna
artwork.
we're gonna look into that foam art. Foam
When
art
you do the hardback,
for version 2,
Yeah.
the
The one that
volume
has
2.
a
So
jacket.
where does
Volume
somebody
2.
find hot chocolate for the mind? They just go on Amazon.com.
Amazon,
or what?
Amazon, yeah, Amazon.com.
And when you go to Amazon.com, if you wouldn't mind, go to
Yes.
riffin.net first, click our Amazon banner, then search for the book.
there you go.
This way we get a couple of shekels. Is
it's
the popular
win,
term.
win.
Yeah, it's
Everybody
the rare
wins.
triple win.
The
Yeah.
spoon
You
wins.
pay zero
Dwayne-
extra.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dwayne pays zero extra,
Win,
and
win, win.
zero is taken away from Dwayne.
It's like a
but
groovy
we
girl
get some money from Amazon.
hooking up with a guy who can't smell.
That is it. Listen, again, when you get your blurbs going on, right? You got this book is like a groovy girl hooking up with a guy who can't smell and will tolerate
Yeah.
rank infected vagina.
It's like a groovy girl, but everything's groovy except that one thing.
Yeah, you know what it is. That's
I
not
like, how
groovy.
I like how you phrased it into like it's an infomercial. When everything's groovy except for that one thing.
What you need is
I'm trying to push,
groovy
baby.
girl trying to hook up with a dude who got ain't no smell,
Don't you know how distribution
ain't
works?
got no olfactory senses.
Don't you know how distribution works, son? Man. Have you always had an idea like I want to write a book at some point, or was it just kind of like I enjoy blogging, I enjoy writing?
It was
And
more.
you realized, oh, I have enough for a book.
Yeah, it was like both. Like
Do
I
you
always
have a novel somewhere unfinished, the Dwayne Perkins book joint?
Well, I always wanted to write a book that was more of a. Honestly, I was going to write a manifesto, and a lot of people were asking me about that, and then I decided not to because my manifesto wasn't going to say anything that isn't already said in other places.
Your
And
manifesto is just like a couple Wikipedia
If I
links.
may, when you're done with this,
Yeah, yeah.
I have an idea for your next book.
and I didn't want to. People seem to, and maybe there's a lot of people out there who've written manifestos who have not blown anything up. But I thought to myself, when you ink a manifesto, do
Shit
you
gets-
go crazy?
shit gets
Does
real.
something happen to you? So
If
then I
you
was like,
start embarking on a manifesto, I feel like you just start to become untethered.
yeah. So I'm like, I don't want to blow anything up. I just want to, And so I always thought I'd write a sort of a self-help kind of book, but instead I realized I had all these blog entries, and you could go through and read my blogs. You can't read these anymore because I took them off. But
But all the other good stuff is still there.
yeah, so you can still read my blog. But I just thought, oh wow, I have something here, and there's a theme, and it's travel based. Basically, some blogs are from LA, some blogs are from my experience in New York, some are from my world travels, some are about my family, and others are just little short, sort of like thoughts I had. So that's how the book is
Now,
laid out.
because I know you got Africa on the cover there. So have you
Yeah,
done
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of stuff in Africa over the years? Is that have you done a lot of traveling there?
Yeah, I have actually. I did a commercial in Tanzania,
Okay.
and in Kenya and Tanzania. I've done comedy in South Africa a bunch of times. And
How was that experience for you? 'Cause South Africa is kind of like it is like its own Africa. Yeah, I mean, like it is
It's completely, yeah.
you know,
yeah.
like it really is. Like I don't know how you got attached to this continent, bro. Because
Yeah. Well, you know what it is about South Africa is the whole thing about sort of European taking over places. It's above the tropics and below the tropic. That's where. So that's why.
Well, it's like I will say you may have read the oft forwarded email or whatever have you about the story about where a woman was on an airline flight and was sitting next to a black person and said, I don't want to sit next to one of these, and she said, oh, by all means, ma'am. I don't want you to have to put up with somebody like this, and moved the white lady to like some back of the row shitty spot and lifted up the thing so that the black lady could lay down and was like, hey, racism, we conquered it, whatever. That's the whole like inspiring
right.
thing. But that story in the subline or whatever is about South Africa, because they were talking about like a South African woman with this black lady, and they were like, that's actually a terrible story because it reinforces the stereotype of how South African whites fucking hate black people.
Right. And I don't know if they do or don't, but I think that the reason why
it's definitely still very volatile.
the reason why they stayed, and the reason why, because you look at the rest of the African continent, and it's like, well, there's colonialism, but there's not like take over and live there.
Well, the legacy of apartheid is so
Yeah.
so viciously
Oh,
fresh.
completely.
And I think that's the thing with South Africa is I had a chance one time I met this older white guy at an airport a few years ago, and he was from South Africa, and he and his wife ran and they may still run a bread and breakfast there. We were able to exchange emails over the years. I haven't been able to exchange with them recently, but
Shout out to that guy.
shout out to my man Peter. What up? But he
Peter Buffett, no, sorry, guy.
but so he, was telling me a lot about one of the stories that he told me is how these, black South African youths, ended up breaking into their bed and breakfasts and, were stealing fruit and stuff and just basic food because they just were hungry and they have no access to food. And it's that thing of, I'm pissed because my shop just got broken into, but I know why they're breaking into it, so like I can't really be mad. Like I'm just mad, but I'm not mad because I understand it. And that's the situation for a lot of white South Africans, because they're just like, well, everything's all fucked. You know, like I'm trying to make my life, but like I get why they are. And I think it was a couple of years ago where they had a white supremacist a very prominent white supremacist in South Africa was killed, which sort of inflamed a lot of things.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember his name right now, but you know, and then they have a lot of situations happening in the mines still. And it really is, it's in sort of like more so than like some of the other African countries, which have really gotten at least some kind of chance to like break away.
In those other countries, though, there wasn't a full. There was sort of a takeover of resources, but there wasn't a like we're gonna live here.
Yeah, this wasn't like
know
this
what I
is where like the empire is set up. You know, like you have a lot of Chinese influence in Africa now because they are exploiting a lot of resources, but there's not the sense of an occupation,
right,
kind of thing.
But that occupation is based on where the tropics are. I'm saying like if like the U.S. You look at the U.S. and you're like, why does Mexico start and end where like why there?
Yeah.
Why? You know, it's. I think it's like we just took what was usable. We're like,
we're gonna set this river here, and
that's Canada. You can have that. That's we don't want that. There's nothing up there. There's oil up there. Oh, we'll take Alaska then. We'll take Alaska.
And like Dwayne is like a fucking NBA GM right now, where he's like, oh, you mean his knee isn't blown out? Okay, we're gonna take him. We'll give you some cash considerations.
Right.
We'll give you some cash
It's
considerations.
like when you think about like 80% of the Canadian population, they live in the bottom 10% of the country.
Right.
And it's like Canada's this massive country.
And then it's this like wilderness of Newfoundland and just everything. It's just like, go ahead and commit a crime and disappear.
Right. So why is America right here? And then Mexico is cool, but it's like, that's too hot. We literally just got like the best part.
Sure.
And Alaska and fucking Hawaii.
I mean, it's like
and Hawaii's like, we're gonna snatch this island out.
Yeah,
it's like how California took all of the usable fucking surfable coast.
Right.
Like once you get into Oregon and Washington, you're like, oh, you're on the coast too. Oh, fuck that. No, it's way too good. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it looks like Manifest Destiny runs just about here on this latitude.
California was like, let's just get all the surfable coast. And the sun and the weather, and you know, it's like it's the moment the weather starts getting really shitty, which is just north of San Francisco.
Right.
And we're like, let's cut it off right there.
Yeah.
And it's Oregon and Washington.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, it'll just be rain. That's cool. Rain and hipsters. What in heroin?
But it is really weird. Like it's weird that like I think what's really weird about the world that we still live in is that there are still countries that just own islands. You know what I mean? Like you've got fucking floating bodies of land. That
Don't
you have,
we own Puerto Rico?
Yeah, it's a Commonwealth.
Yeah,
it's a Commonwealth.
Yeah. I was trying to remember the exact one.
Well, you know, you've got United States Virgin Islands. Like we got multiple Virgin Islands, which just blows my mind. I'm like, well, how many islands are Virgin? Like, and it's a sense that you still have these fucking
what constitutes a Virgin Island. Which is what I wondered about when like I bought extra virgin olive oil or extra virgin. I have like pure virgin coconut oil, which I use for cooking, and I'm like, what is that? What makes it like it hasn't gone through any other processes? Or?
But you know what I do now is I'm trying to get this as a thing that people say, but I don't think it will. I Bing it. I'm trying to Bing things now as opposed to
don't do that. No,
don't Bing.
No, because
Google?
that's like their commercial. I mean, if they hadn't tried to make a commercial,
I didn't know.
Why don't you Bing it?
Look, Dwayne's just a hardworking man in these streets trying to search engines, bro.
I get it. It's just it's the problem is that they made commercials and they've tried to buy time on other on like sitcoms where people go, why don't you Bing it?
But Bing sounds like bang too. So I was in Portland. I was like, you should Bing it, and then this girl said, bang what? I was, no.
Yeah.
I was like, well, first, before I correct you, what do you feel about what you think I said?
Listen, what's your impression on the false read that I gave you?
Okay,
how you feeling?
How do you feel about that?
60-40?
Because we can bang and bang at the same time, baby. I mean, I'm just saying, baby.
Then, like, after you finish, you know, the funny thing, baby girl, is that I actually said bang.
I told you he had a cape on. I told you. Hey, he's just laying there.
On?
Yeah, I told you, man. He walks around with a cape and a joint. He's like, well, listen here, baby. What I got to tell you, unfortunately, is that I'm not going to be in your town when the sun comes up.
This is so interesting that we hooked up because I
you
really just want to know about extra virgin olive oil.
Are you a weed smoker?
No, I'm not.
Not at all?
No, I'm not. Yeah, that was more of a
like you. When I heard your act in the
that
past,
was actually just
and when I heard your act, like the way that you talk and the things you talk about, sound very much like weed smoker.
It sounds weed inspired, right?
It's very much. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's just.
Have you never smoked weed? You just don't now.
No, never. I've only.
Do you drink?
I don't
Nothing?
drink. I've only smoked weed once when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, my cousins gave it to me.
You know what I'm saying? Did not expect that plot twist, bro.
Right.
Did
To
not.
be fair,
Good thing
weed at 5 and
Dwayne-
weed at like
in a different world,
however
Dwayne
old you are
ends up on Gawker.
is a
But maybe that
difference
hit.
in
Maybe
it.
that. You know,
Yeah.
still lives in me.
How did you end up
yeah,
at
yeah.
5 years old smoking weed?
Well, they were
Have
smoking
you done any? Sorry, do you have
Yeah.
done any drugs at all?
No,
any
I've
hallucinogens?
only.
anything? I mean, caffeine,
Yeah,
obviously.
caffeine, sugar, a lot of sugar.
That's
and
not
I've-
a drug.
And
Caffeine is a drug.
I drank 2 wine coolers once. I tell people. Yeah, that went down. And I can't remember if it was bottles.
You mean
of
I
James.
bought all that beer? I was like, I'm pretty sure Dwayne
Right,
drinks
right.
a beer or two.
When I get older, when I get older, and when I'm with, when I get married, maybe.
when you're with.
Oh,
girl.
when you
I think it
get
was like when it's me and Jesus.
once you get real comfortable, that's
Yeah,
when you're
yeah,
gonna let
just
that's when you're gonna
one-
let substance abuse Dwayne come out.
Yeah, right.
He's been lurking around, and I can tell you something. That man
When
got
That's
some
not the
pent-up
time to do
angst.
it because
When
she
I find a
married
girl
a
that
sober
can take
man.
a punch, and I'm just that's sorry about that. But
Get the man another bottle of water, huh? It looks like he's out of water.
Oh my goodness, that's. I feel like Dwayne is gonna be the perfect like older drunken black man who's like he's gonna be the cantankerous black dude that's like, let me tell you something. I went so much of my life without drinking, and I didn't even know that I
Right,
could do
right.
this. You know how mad I am at you.
no, so I was just talking about this with someone because when my friends who drink, when they like, when they sort of go through a detox period and they don't drink for like a month,
Yeah.
and it's always the same tale. It's like, man, I haven't been drinking for a month. I feel good. It's like everything's kind of clear and everything is good. And I'm like, you're describing how I always am, and it doesn't even sound that good. It just sounds like, you know what I mean? It just sounds like,
Yeah, right? Like it makes you reevaluate. Like, why have I made the decisions that I have? Like, you were like so desperate to get away from this feeling.
Right,
why
right,
am I
right.
here all the time right now? What's wrong with me?
because it's like they're like. It's like a camping trip for them or something. It's like, oh, this is good. I'm clearing my head.
Right.
And but next month I'm getting fucked up again.
Well, I'm thinking of. I'm trying to remember who it was that it was a famous quote, and I'm sure you could Google it or Bing it.
Yeah,
which
Alta
is
Vista
like-
it. Yeah,
Well, wait, what year are we going back to? Though?
Yeah, right. It's the quote about I feel sorry for non-drinkers because when they wake up, that's the best they're gonna feel all day.
right. But it's also the worst we're gonna feel. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
I have a friend.
Well, I mean,
here's the-
I
here's the-
guess
here's the-
in a sense, but in the drinking mindset,
right.
the worst you feel is the next day.
Yeah, here's the thing. Dan Fredrickson, shout out to our man Dan Fredrickson. Currently,
Episode God knows what, but
one
he
of
was
the early
on.
ones.
No, he was on way late.
No, he
no,
wasn't.
he was on twice. Sorry, he
He
hosted
guest
when he
hosted.
hosted
Yeah.
when you were out. Yeah.
But Dan has been a guy who, for the most part, never drank really.
Yeah.
But I
He
saw
says
him.
He's never drank.
No,
Does
he
does
hasn't.
drink?
But I saw him and a couple of weeks ago at the Ice House, and he was having a beer.
Oh wow.
And I freaked the fuck out because I
Wow.
was like,
I
wait a
would
minute.
too.
I was like, what are you doing right now? And he was like, yeah, I just kind of reached this place where I was like, why am I not doing this thing?
Right.
Sorry,
And,
episode 15 and episode 30.
Thank you.
And
you
then
can
he was, like,
find
cool
Dan
with it?
Fredrickson.
But he was drinking. And he's like, no, this is pretty good. Like, this is pretty good.
Wow.
It's okay. It's pretty good. And then I was so just in awe. I was like, I went and bought us a round right then
Wow.
because I was like, I don't even know if I'll get this again. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
may realize that like I made a huge mistake because
Yeah.
you have opened a terrible box.
And I think there's several people who kind of like, if I ever do drink, they want to be the one
I was there.
that
so.
I drink with. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be
and
there.
that you were that dude. That's,
I'm that
you
dude.
know?
I'm
Yeah,
that dude.
yeah, yeah.
I'm the dude
I'm
that's like,
definitely
I'm the
there.
dude
Yeah, yeah.
that has
Yeah.
like just pulls out a roll of 20s,
Right,
be like, I've been
right.
saving for this day for years. All the drinks are on this right now.
And, I
Oh,
did
yeah.
forget. Other than
I'm
the
the
wine
same way.
cooler, I forgot I had a glass of wine, 1 or 2 glasses of wine once, but that was because
Are you sure that wasn't just the third wine cooler
no.
and you were too drunk to know?
no. I was hooking up with this girl. It was the first time, and I was afraid to bust early,
Sure.
and she was really hot, and I was like, okay, let me drink wine. I was young. I didn't know what was going on. But,
Where is this in the Dwayne Perkins era right now? How young is he?
I'm in my early 20s at this point.
Okay.
And she's I mean, like hot for real, like
Right,
for
right.
real.
Like not
Like,
the
I
kind of
believe
girl
you.
that is attractive, and I'm like, yeah,
know.
you.
But
You don't need to pretend that you can't breathe.
But we dated for a
or-
while. We
or
dated for a
smell
while,
anything.
though.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
then
get
it
it.
was-
They did post wine incident.
Yeah, like it was good. I mean, the sex was decent, and then, for me, yeah, whatever. It was good. It was. I don't want to, get into it. but-
Dwayne is looking at the ceiling right now. You can see so much fucking recollection happening where he's
Right.
like, no, I mean it was okay, yeah, I'm gonna move on right now
Yeah,
because
it was-
I'm gonna open a dossier that I did not.
It was a good. It was a good look. It was a good look. And so yeah, that was that. But I didn't even need to do that, But that girl, it was weird because I think back to that first date we had, and I was in such a crazy place. I was like kind of doing comedy then, or just starting and everything, and just no time in my life. I would like do my laundry the night before, go to work, leave my clothes in the dryer, and I didn't have my own machine. It was like the building machine.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would just
yeah.
leave my stuff in the dryer.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I was wanted to impress her so much that I was like, I don't have time. I'm coming home from work. I had a day job then. I got to meet her. I was vacuuming the car while I was driving. Like, you just shouldn't do that. That's just not something you should do ever.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how unsafe that is, dude.
It's so it's like
Was it plugged in the one of the plug-in
yeah.
vacuums?
It was like I plugged it into the
cigarette.
cigarette thing, and I'm just like just
No turn signals at all on that trip. You're like,
Yeah,
nope,
yeah.
if I'm going left, I'm going left. Y'all just got to get on with it.
just outrage. Just think back to that. That's crazy. We're still friends, but yeah, that's it.
You see how Dwayne is? He's looking at the floor right now. He's like his brain is really processing that. We still friends, but you know how that is. Okay, what's going on, brother?
Right. No, it was it was mutual and everything, but it's just it was a good time. Good time is what I got to say about that.
Good.
We lived together.
Yeah, right. You know what? Dwayne was wanting to play around Google Feud.
Okay.
Well,
All
I-
right. We will get to
I
that.
just failed so horribly. That I remember the last time I didn't quite understand.
Did we even play?
We played, and I just couldn't.
Oh, wow.
Listen, we definitely played because
I would say, like,
when
in
when
this
I,
studio,
as soon as
we
I ran
haven't played
into
that
him,
much.
when I ran into him, he was like, "Hey, so what's that game that you guys have?" And I was like, "Google Feud." He's like,
All right,
"Yeah,
all right.
about that." Like I still like he's like haunted by the
When
fucking.
did you run into Dwayne Perkins?
On the elevator on the way up. And he
Oh,
was-
all right.
And then that's when that came
But
out.
at the improv as well, though.
Yeah, the improv.
Okay,
That was after he was like, I got this ebook and also the Google Feud
All right,
nightmares.
I
won't
have
stop.
I have a brief, if you will, humble brag.
Yes. Let's do it.
Mostly a brag.
Okay,
but I'm
sure.
gonna call it humble.
All right, go ahead. Give it a
I'll
different
be
context.
humble about it.
Right.
Certainly ruining that window.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I literally had like there's been so much weird news in the last week
Yeah.
that I had all this shit built up, and I was like, I don't know if we're gonna get to any of this, but let's see. And I was hoping I could parlay one of the news items into a humble brag.
Okay.
And it didn't happen. So now I'm just being embarrassing.
All right. Well, no, let's see.
You know,
Go
that's
ahead.
fine. It's fine, right? I assume.
There's no better way for us to go out.
All right. You know that Netflix launched a new series, perhaps?
yes.
Last week?
Oh, like
Hemlock Grove.
original content.
Yeah. Called Hemlock Grove.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Werewolves and such and
That's how they
other
pitched it.
things. It's kind of a teen drama. Who gives a shit? Whatever. Maybe some people will give a shit. But it just launched.
Mitch doesn't give a shit.
I give a little bit of a shit. I've been sick.
Yeah. So is this what you camped out on when I saw the tweet came out?
Yeah.
That was Mitch
Yeah.
being deep in the sick game.
Like around Thursday afternoon.
Yep.
Like it came out, I think Wednesday night or Thursday night. I think it came
Probably
out
Wednesday,
Thursday night.
yeah, Thursday night, yeah.
At midnight, directly at midnight. So I woke up Thursday just being like, I feel like sick. I can't do anything today.
Your man was on death's door.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Saw Mitch, and Mitch was hurting. Mitch
Yeah.
was hurting.
He saw me late Thursday night. And I was like, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so canceled a show. I was headlining. I canceled the show.
Yeah.
That's how sick.
That's
it
how
was.
sick Mitch was.
To be fair, I will perform in almost any state.
Yeah, he could have his dick caught in his zipper. He would probably still perform.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I would do 10 minutes.
I like how Dwayne just nods very solemnly, like, yes, of course, I understand.
Yeah.
Dwayne was like, yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't right now. Bro.
I would do 10 minutes.
He's a competitor. That guy, he's doing a fucking NBA TV fucking. Like, Mitch is. I remember the '97 game with the old. He was going up third in the lineup. His dick was caught in, and he's like, I'm going to do 20 minutes.
Sure. Yeah. Because that's to be your opening act.
Yeah,
You'd be like,
exactly.
listen, I don't want to go up tonight because my dick's caught in my zipper. Let me tell you about dicks caught in zippers, and you tell your own slant. Anyway, so I watched it, and I don't think many people have gotten through the entire series. It's only been a few days, whatever.
It's less than a week, bitch.
Right. And I sincerely, this happened in episode 6. This happened.
Wait, all these episodes are coming out daily?
There was a guy. Don't look at the screen yet because
Okay.
I want to have a brief discussion. There was a guy looking up something about something that was going on in his town and his company, and a guy was like, "Hey, something's going on with your company, and somebody's trying to buy you out of your company. Here's the name of the company." And so the guy goes on the internet to look up the company. Now, the search engine he uses looks just like, identical to Bing. But it had some weird-ass logo. But it looked exactly like Bing. In the past, you might have used Google.
Right.
So it doesn't. It looks like Bing, but it's not Bing, which is what I thought. Like, why not get in on that?
Right.
Anyway, so it looks like Bing. He searches, and the whole time he's looking at websites and searching, they show his full laptop screen. And they show the URL, the top level domain, the whatever.com, which never changes throughout the. We're talking like 30 seconds of on screen time with this guy's searching. And it looks just like, if you want to quickly brief at the screen, it looks just like Google Chrome. As you can see, I'm using Google Chrome.
A little bit.
And it shows like a title on top of the tab, and it shows the .com and whatever have you. And the .com is bsencyclopedia.com, as you can see here. Feel free to look at the screen now.
Okay, all right.
You can see it's bsencyclopedia.com. Everything he looks up uses that domain. And on top of the tab, it says bsencyclopedia.com, which led me to believe that they were using Chrome, but they were using a local URL. Because with a local URL, I don't want to get too geeky. With a local URL, you can pretend that you're looking at a .com or .net or whatever that you want to by using like some proxy shit.
Okay.
And I figured, that's what they were doing, so they didn't have to set up an entire website of like 5,000 pages that you could search through a fake search engine and whatever. Then, while watching it, I thought to myself, like, well, surely they registered this domain that they're showing very prominently on the screen.
Right.
They did not.
So there was just that's a graphic, basically.
Do you see? Do you see what it says? bsencyclopedia.com.
Nice. That's
if you
funny.
go to bsencyclopedia.com, this is what happens. You end up on my YouTube page. Bam! Got it. So anybody who's geeky enough to watch episode
The
6,
elite of the elite.
Yeah.
we're talking like Netflix has like 130 million subscribers. Or 38 million, or whatever it is. The point is, they got like in the multitudes of millions.
When you talk about that 1% that you need,
there you go.
And
If 1%,
you're finding your 1%.
if 1% of the people who even watch that show go like, I wonder what's at that URL. They're going to end up on my. I've never been able to get that lucky. Usually, I Google that URL or I type in that URL that they show on a show, and the show bought it. Like Conan. You ever seen the manatee thing? You know about that? The horny manatee? The whole reason they bought the domain was like so they could do the skit.
Right.
And the network was like, look, you can't do a skit that mentions a .com unless we own the .com. So we need to make sure we can own the .com. So they bought the .com, which is like $10.
Crossing your T's. And
You know what I'm saying?
dotting your I's. Right.
And they bought the domain and put nothing on it just so they could do the skit. And then people were like, there's nothing at hornymanatee.com. And then they ended up doing some, a couple of like stupid things. It takes like a week or whatever to like make something for that content. And so that they have something for people to look at when they see it on YouTube later. It was surprising as fuck to me that bsencyclopedia.com was not registered.
And that's really funny.
So there you go.
And
That was
hopefully,
my humble brag.
if they use that, if they throughout the duration of the show, if that's their go-to thing,
Yeah.
people are gonna see more and more. And
Yeah. Which
Very nice.
actually, here's the
Clever
thing.
son of a bitch.
I tweeted, if you've been watching Hemlock Grove, pay attention to that URL in episode 6.
Of course you did.
And give it a try.
Yes.
And the art director of the show
Yes.
retweeted it.
Oh, nice.
He only has like 100 followers.
Right.
5 of them are involved heavily in the show. One of them is Eli Roth, the director and writer of the show.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, they probably won't use that URL again.
Well,
They'll probably be smarter in the future, but in my mind, like, maybe this makes us... Again, it's a humble brag. It's stupid.
No, solid.
Whatever.
Or they could be.
The brag is that I got the domain.
Could be
That's the only brag about it, is that I got the domain. The humble is like, whatever, who gives a shit? It's just a domain.
It could be a squatting situation too. You know what I mean?
How so?
Where they want to buy it from you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't buy domains with that. I mean, I don't want to be a dick. If they were like, hey, give that over to us, I'd be
Right.
okay, fine. Like, I don't know that I would, because it's like they don't have any. But, I mean, I didn't buy it to be malicious. I bought it mostly at the first point. I was like, I hope that some, like, for instance, that Mitch Hedberg CD that hangs on the wall there from his first album, on the back it says MitchHedberg.com.
Uh-huh.
When I bought that CD, it was like at the very first printing of it. He let the domain expire and lapse, and a porn company bought it.
Get
So
out.
when I went to MitchHedberg.com, it's a porn company. I think it still is. In fact, I'm going to check right now.
That's crazy.
Uh,
That's crazy.
that shit's crazy.
That's
I don't know if that's. Oh no! It looks like they finally bought it, and it goes to an Amazon page now.
Oh, where you
Which
can
is
buy
not
his stuff, maybe.
Yeah, which is still not his website, but it's close enough.
better than a porn company.
Yeah,
owning
it used to
your
be a porn company when I bought that album. I went there and it was a porn
crazy.
site,
Why would
and
they
it
want it?
had nothing to do with Mitch Hedberg. By the way, it was
Free
just
money.
like,
Well, I like some Mitch Hedberg jokes, but I really need to get my rocks off right now.
Right,
So
right.
now that I'm here, might as well make the best of it.
some people will print up a CD with a .com before they register it, or they'll let it expire or whatever have you, and that's what happened here. Either he let it expire, or he printed it up before actually checking to see if he could get that domain, whatever.
Right.
But so in public interest, I was like, I don't want somebody else to grab that domain,
Right,
and it becomes porn.
But was it a porn?
But on top of it, I also was like, well,
no,
you
it's
know.
solid. It was-
Then I bought Teddy's domain.
Nice.
I bought TeddyTutson.com. I own.
That's right. Go there, bitches.
Our friend Justin Ruppel, our friend Ian Edwards was on the show. Last show, I think it was
Couple shows ago.
2 shows ago, 2 or 3 shows ago. Ian Edwards, his
April Fool's Day.
he had IanEdwardsComedian.com expire, but it was still like held under his account, so it didn't
Right,
fully
right.
expire. And I went to go register it to make sure that nothing happened, and I went to go register IanEdwardsComic.com, which actually is available. And as I was about to buy it, I was like, "Oh wait, I got the wrong domain," so I didn't. Shouldn't have mentioned that. But anyway, the point is the point is that like if a comedian I know and or like, their domain expires, I'll pick it up.
Right.
Like there's podcasts like the Talking Shit podcast. Like they didn't get talkingshit.com, but I grabbed talkingshit.net. And I've tried to give it was Jim Jeffries and Eddie Ift, and I was trying to give it to them for like months. And then I talked to Jim Jeffries, and he was like, yeah, talk to our guy. I was like, yeah, hit me up, and he never did. And then I talked to Eddie Ift personally, and he was like, I'll hit you up. And I was like, yes, please do. And he emailed me, and I was like, so I'm going to transfer the domain. Where should I transfer it to? And never got a reply. I was like, well, why did you fucking hit me up about it, you ass? So, like, I'll pick up these domains to just make sure that it doesn't go into bad hands. You know what I'm saying?
You are very similar to the person who bought the Boston Marathon Conspiracy.com
Yes,
domain
exactly.
to prevent douchebags from launching a conspiracy theory. And he was just like, I just bought it. He's had so many people that have emailed him, victims and people related to that, to just be like, thank you for being a decent person and beating them to the punch. So
Right.
I definitely have your head in the right place. How do you feel about some Google Feud?
Okay, let's
You
do
wanna
some
explain
Google
to the
Feud,
people
and
at
then
home?
we'll. Okay, so Google Feud is very similar to Family Feud.
And by the
You,
way,
Sorry.
But based on that, based on your urgings, I'm gonna register hotchocolateforthemind.com.
Dwayne is like, listen, you can do a comedy all you want to, but I'm doing a business deal right now.
By all means,
I
do
didn't
it.
book
Do
this
it
to
up.
be a casual affair.
No, because I just thought about it. Hot chocolate for the mind.
.com.
He's gonna leave that page on his laptop. Soon
I
as
hope
the show's
that, I hope
over,
that you're buying it
he's gonna
right
put it
now
down.
as you
Yeah,
speak
he's
because
just-
I know,
live.
'cause
This is
people are-
live. I mean,
He's like,
No,
he's like,
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I'm just kidding. It's already taken. It's already taken.
Riffopolis, stand down on your keyboards right now, okay? Stand down.
Stand down.
Give us like a solid 1 minute. Wait to the end of the explanation, and then you might be able to see.
I
if
might
it's
be able to
in there.
register it faster than you could.
Why don't you explain the game show and let that man do his business, son? Tell the people about Google Feud.
All right. Register the domain while I explain.
Okay, you think I should use register.com or the other one? Which one?
GoDaddy.
GoDaddy?
They're faster than shit,
Oh,
and they
okay.
won't let your shit expire. I've had that problem with
Oh.
other ones. They won't let their shit expire for like something like a month.
I had a GoDaddy callback recently. I don't think I
And
got
no,
it,
they're
though.
they're really good. If you want me to register, I can transfer it to your account.
You're gonna be able to go that.
Yeah, because I don't even have a GoDaddy
Okay,
account.
let me
Yeah.
register it for you.
Do I?
No, it's cool. I'll register it for you. Hot chocolate for the mind.
Okay.
Mind.com.
Okay.
He's
And then you hit me up if you want the hot
No, absolutely.
chocolate for the mind.
This is my handwriting.
I can either
this must be your this. See, this is Dwayne. Dwayne has found the episode where he struggled in the notebook. We have the Google Feud guest notebook where it's all been documented, and he just saw
Oh
all
my
these
God.
blank pages, and he's like, "Oh, that was me."
Yeah, I think that's my handwriting. I can tell.
That's why he was so eager to get
It's
back.
like when I watch Game of Thrones. It's like they know whose crest is which crest. You're from the family. Lord of the.
Don't you dare try and fucking make it all seem more mightier than it is. All these, I see 1, 2, 3 with nothing on your page.
Yeah, no, it's-
I just see an empty slot of Dwayne thinking real hard, being like, "Oh damn, I'm gonna have to come back on again. I'm gonna have to come back on
I
again."
feel like I'm not going to do well with
This is it, though. This is it.
Google Feud.
So Mitch, once you are sure,
Just a
okay,
minute,
yeah, this
sorry.
is a appropriate way for us to go into the old
All right, you're good.
Thank you,
Riffin
thank you.
I got
Battle
it.
Station.
And I'll
So
get your email.
here's the thing is,
Yes.
just hit me on my Facebook, email, whatever,
Sweet.
and let me. I can either immediately forward it to your blog,
Okay.
like with a transparent redirect. I can
Okay.
forward it to the Amazon page. Do you have an Amazon affiliate account?
You're working out. You're working out.
I just have a regular Amazon.
All right.
page,
Well,
yeah,
if
yeah.
You're working out.
Get an Amazon affiliate account. I will forward it to your Amazon affiliate account for your page, so
Sweet.
you get paid twice.
Sweet.
Or I could just transfer the domain if you got to go to
Okay.
account.
All of it will
Okay.
get worked
All
out.
right. Anyway, so
Thank you
Google
very much.
Feud is much like Family Feud, where on Family Feud they say like things your husband would leave on the floor, and then you guess what people on the street might answer. Well, today we have Google that finishes your sentences. So this way you say a partial sentence, and we finish the sentence, or we try to guess what the end of the
They
sentence is.
prompt, if you will.
Yes.
Dwayne searching for inspiration amongst the pages
a partial
of those who came
sentence?
before him.
Dwayne's really excited. What's a partial sentence you want finished? I don't care if you do all three. I just need a partial sentence.
Do you want?
Okay.
you want
I'm
Phil?
just,
Are you ready
I'm
to
just
start?
looking.
Are you ready to-
I'm just looking because I realize I'm just seeing if it's okay to use the back of the paper, and no one
it's
except
fine.
2 people have ever used the back. So I'm going to start a new page. So
I will start. Do you want me to?
Is
I'll-
there
I'll
no?
start
Is
here.
there no front pages left?
No, they have plenty. Yeah, yeah.
But you
Oh,
know,
well,
the
he
guest
said that you
notebook. The guest
mentioned-
notebook is all. You know, he's a.
All right, all right. Go ahead.
All right. This is my Google Feud.
Okay.
My final Google Feud, bro.
Okay. Ooh.
My family. That's it. Of course, it's
Looks good to me.
Let it
And,
be.
then we guess, right?
You guessed, yes. So
All
what do
three
you
of
think?
us.
Yeah, you guess. So
Okay.
you write down your top 3 answers for what you think my family is.
All
Hit him
right.
with the doo-ha.
I feel real good about this.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Bam!
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Done. I will lose, but I don't care. I'm going out in style. I just realized this one counts more than any other.
I got it. No, I got it. I'm ready for this. I'm playing good.
You done? You gotta put you on your pen.
Oh yeah.
All right, Daddy, what you got?
What kind of bingo hall bully we got over here?
I'm just reminding him because he's holding his pen upright.
Okay. My family is poor. My family is broken. My family has abandoned me.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I'm using one generic word to mean both ways.
Okay, let's see.
Girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife.
Yeah.
I'm using as partner.
Okay, fine. We'll give you this.
My family hates my partner.
It's good.
My family is racist. My family is full of assholes.
Oh, that's good.
You got some good ones. Damn it.
Dwayne is really nice.
Well,
Thank you,
What-
Dwayne.
What you got? What you got?
We share one. I have my family needs counseling. I have my family is mixed.
Okay.
And I have
wow, solid.
My family hates my boyfriend. What? you know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go partner. You
Yeah,
can. We'll
right.
partner on that one.
All right. Okay. What we got here? What we
Here
got?
we go.
What we got going?
Here we
on?
go.
Round one.
My family. It's sad that they're all sad. By the way, my family tree, my family mobile, my family recipe rocks.
What?
My family wizard, my family medical group, my family movie, my family 1995, my family wedding, my family and dollar.
But tree.
Now,
tree.
now here's what it is. I think I like how Mitch right
I
before
like
he got
that
it. He's
we
like, we're
all
all
were, like, sad. We
Let's-
all
What
went
happens
sad.
if we throw in just an is? Would that have changed it?
My
Oh,
everything
yeah.
so dysfunctional. Is mean to me, is poor.
Is racist. Yeah.
Should have gone is. I tried to tell you this before.
Let's just do it based on is. It's the finale. We could do whatever the fuck we want
Yeah,
to.
this is what we kind
Okay,
of.
You can
fine.
put it. I wrote is
Fine.
4, so technically I win.
We
You
all
understand
we
me?
all interpreted.
That's 4.
I win.
That's
Yeah.
4.
I win.
You get
So,
4 points.
4
So
pins.
4,
You
and,
get 8. Well, you get for racist. You get 1.
Oh, I got that. Oh my god.
No, he said racist.
I have racist.
He said racist. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
forget your own answers.
Woo!
So how much do you get for that?
7
7
points.
Now I said
You
needs,
get 7 points.
I said needs counseling, but I don't know if it's dysfunctional.
No, you know what's
really.
so dysfunctional is so specific that
Yeah.
that is someone
That's
just
fine.
that's
That's
angry.
canceling. Yeah, right.
So
you get
7.
2, 4, and 7.
Now, so I said broken. That's gotta count. My family's
Dysfunctional.
unique.
not in there.
First of
Dysfunctional.
all,
So dysfunctional is
I'm
kind
not
of like
gonna.
broken.
First of all,
Dysfunctional
who is
needs
the asshole
counseling.
that is searching my family is unique because UCLA? Because y'all need to get off the internet. Is what I'm trying to tell you
Yeah.
right now.
My family is unique because it's like go fuck yourself. don't fucking try to. Don't go to Google for your fucking. Dwayne, you
Okay.
got anything?
Yeah, this is the part where I wasn't good at before. So
Free to tell me.
I like how the way it's just been like, yeah, like, it's all fun and games for like an hour and 50 minutes. But like now is the time where like I really just might leave.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? It's been a good run. Thank you.
this is the part now, and I'll say this: if it's not one that you know will generate, just shoot it down.
yeah.
I
we'll
can
go
tell
another
you.
one.
I'll tell you right
Okay.
now.
Here's what I want to say,
Okay.
because maybe
In
'cause
fact,
you had
what
2
I can do
words.
is I can.
Let him. Let's
All right,
let's
go ahead.
hear
Ready?
it. Let's hear it.
Go ahead.
walking causes. I don't know if that's
Hold on. I gotta rewrite.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Mitch's. What are you doing here? What's going on? Doing a lot of looking.
Feels good. Feels good.
Walking.
Okay.
I think you're good. Oh
Okay.
shit! I accidentally quit the browser. My apologies.
Oh damn! You done shut down the internet, son.
That's
So
the
you want to go
galaxy.
with walking causes?
yeah.
Because Dwayne's got such panic in his face right now. He's like, I just want to get through this round. How come I can't tap somebody in?
Right.
Somebody doing. Oh man. Okay.
Okay.
we're
All
going walking
right. We're
causes.
going walking causes.
Damn it.
I'm trying to win it. Ah!
Okay. Okay. All right. Got it.
All right.
I
all
feel
right.
terrible about
Yeah,
I
all
feel
don't-
good about everything.
I
I
don't
mean,
know
like
if I-
as a human, I don't mean
gave
just
us-
in this game. Like I feel bad that
Right,
I
yeah.
thought of all the things.
Dwayne, what you got?
What you got?
Well, maybe I should have taken more of a risk, but I said walking causes shin splits. I know it probably doesn't.
Linda, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got
I'm
it.
taking more of a risk because that was an understatement.
Weight loss
Okay.
and you to meditate.
Okay.
I really like how you kicked it off with shin splits.
Right.
All of those seem pretty positive, except for the shin splints, which are minor.
Right.
But accurate.
You can get that from
I
anywhere.
definitely went in a very different direction from Dwayne. Walking causes me to get away from my needy kids. Walking causes a lack of breath. Walking causes my wife to call me and ask where I am.
Like that
2
one.
points.
Thank you.
Walking causes. I feel bad about all of these. Walking causes knee injuries.
You got to put the disclaimer up there.
mugging
Mugging.
and rape.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I just.
I thought I
figured.
had bad answers. Dwayne with
I'm
shin splints.
just going by what Google might say. I was wrong.
Wow, here we go.
What is
Lower back pain, contractions, back pain, headache, upper back pain, Braxton Hicks,
What
hip
is that?
pain, knee pain. God!
Diarrhea?
I said-
Diarrhea?
wait. I said knee injuries.
No,
Does knee
sir.
pain count?
No, sir.
I think knee. Yeah, I think knee
That's
pain.
2 against 1.
I don't know how you guys.
Don't you dare, Dwayne.
3 against
I'm
1.
sorry.
Look at Dwayne
Thank
playing
you.
both sides of the fence. Of course that counts, unless, I mean, y'all don't really
Come on.
want it to count. All right, goddamn it.
Come
You'll
on.
get it. You'll get it. You get it.
Now, what if
That's
you put
9 points,
9
motherfucker.
points
That's
on the
incredible.
board.
What if you put an A?
A solid 1. From Teddy's corner, I've got the final 1.
Okay. Dwayne gets a big goose egg
Ooh.
in that
Yeah.
round.
Woo-wee.
Mitch showing out for the final round of Google Feud. You with your knee
I don't
pain.
even need to Google this one. It's too good. I can't believe we haven't used this before. Only 3 words. And it's so good. Oh, God. There's almost no wrong answer. I used to.
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
From your corner. Nicely done.
Oh, well played,
You ready for
lady.
this?
Well played.
All right?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
This is the saddest shit I've ever written in my
I
life.
know. That's what I'm saying.
This is brilliant. See?
Damn it. Oh, my God. Oh. Got it. Got it. I'm going for the crown. Riffopolis, watch the throne. Round 3. Let's get it.
I think I might win this one.
Feel all the sadness in the world. right now.
I've got 16 points on the board to your 6 and his 7.
I might drop a 20 on that ass
All
right
right,
now.
you ready?
I feel good
Here we
about
go.
my answers.
Here we
Okay,
go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Mitch.
I used to beat my wife.
Oh, man.
Drink a lot.
Oh,
Solid.
That's on there.
Solid play.
that's on there.
Solid
Be
play.
so innocent.
Oh, that's good.
That is good.
I'm
Dwayne.
winning it. I'm winning it.
That's good. Dwayne, what you
I
got?
want to win the last
Dwayne,
one.
what you
Okay,
got?
I used to do meth.
You and your shin splits, bro. I used to have shin splits. I used to do bad.
I used to fall for the wrong person.
That's good.
Oh, that's
good.
solid.
I used to blame myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a category that I feel is before tea.
If I were to like pick a full sentence, I was literally like fighting for like the last half of the track with I used to think about, and then I was like, what would I put? Because I used to think about is its own Google feud.
Yeah.
You know
You know
what
what I'm
else
saying?
is-
Like I used to think about, or I used to think that. You know, like I used to think that saucers were, whatever. All right, Teddy.
I know what it's gonna be on there now. Okay.
I used to be loved.
Damn it. You son of a bitch. I'll give you 2 points for that.
I used to have friends, and I used to be somebody.
Ooh, nice. Now,
Watch the throne, motherfuckers! Watch the throne! We coming!
now can I say
I've never
this?
given anybody more than 2 points for all 3. I might have to give you 4 points because that last one was too good.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm going with my 3, but I think I used to love her because that's a common song.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
I
good.
didn't
yeah.
even think about that. Wait, let's see.
I used 2.
Oh, see,
Beat my wife is not in there. Drink a
I used
lot.
to be Persian.
It's all lyrics. Fuck.
It's all.
Hold on,
Dwayne
hold on,
just
hold on.
stumbled onto it.
If I do minus lyrics,
Well, how did you?
oh, it doesn't show the autocorrect for minus lyrics.
Can you do minus lyrics first and then say I used to?
Yeah, let's try that. Wait a minute. Those ones that came up just now were wildly different.
What just happened? Ladies and gentlemen, the final round of Google
you
Feud
start from
has
the
just
beginning?
had an incredibly.
Yeah, I
Like, can
I
you-
think we're it's 4 points for Teddy.
I used to be fat. I used to love her. I used to love her. I used to rule the world. Shout out to Coldplay.
Now, should we bing this? I'm just saying.
I'll try it. I'll try it. I'm fine. I'm fine with
There it is. The final round of Google Feud brought to you by Bing.
Powered by Bing. Same
Yeah,
exact thing.
same
Gonna
thing.
put-
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The internet doesn't care
I
about
used
that.
to love her, but I had. Oh, I should have come up with that. I used to love her, but I had to kill her.
Man.
That was solid, though.
Oh, Mitch showed out.
Oh my God!
Got enough in
Oh,
the
my
first
Lord.
2 rounds.
Lord Jesus!
He did it. He did
You
it.
you messed around and got the triple double.
He messed around and got a triple double. Mitch clanking it out in style. Getting the final Google Feud. Oh shit, son. Oh shit. Well done, Mitch. Well done. What is going on right now? Pandemonium in the studio.
Thank you.
As
Thank
Mitch
you.
celebrating and knocking the camera out of position.
Oh, feels
Oh,
so good.
man.
I just want to thank everybody at the Academy who picked the right person.
Look, I killed it in that round though.
I'm not saying you didn't.
The internet
I'm
is
not
so
saying
wrong.
you didn't. What did I win to? 16 to 10 to
16,
7?
10 to 7. Are you kidding me?
Woo, baby!
Of all,
Woo!
of all the sad things we've ever seen on Google Feud, I'm stunned that I used to be loved is not searched by more people.
it's the
I'm
songs.
with you.
It's the songs. That's if there
Dwayne-
was a way to.
Dwayne's
Yeah.
like, it's a
The
goddamn top
problem
40.
is, I took out the lyrics thing. I did the minus lyrics, which the results showed.
Right,
but
but
unfortunately,
yeah.
it doesn't do the autocorrect. Once you start using modifiers, I'm with you. Yeah, that is a difficulty. In the past, we've had.
Thank God Dwayne didn't think about that common joint, or he would have
Oh
crushed this thing.
yeah.
He would have
Dwayne,
put up
we're going to
20.
find you at Hot Chocolate for the Mind.
Yeah.
Dot
HotChocolateForTheMind.com. Yeah, that's
We
see?
will find that. Yes,
even-
I'll
yes,
set that up
yes.
tonight. Don't worry about that.
And I'll set
just-
up the Amazon affiliate. Yes.
Yeah. Well, even if you don't, I'll set it up with my Amazon affiliate
Nice,
until
nice.
you do.
Yes, good deal. Good deal.
You know, because I'm good like that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good
Yeah.
too.
Again,
yeah.
as soon as you have it,
that would
let
be
me
my
know.
thank you for you
Yeah.
for you doing it.
Yeah,
Yes.
not a problem.
Yes.
It only cost me $150.
Are you on
It's
Twitter
cool.
or anything?
Yeah.
I am on Twitter at FunnyDP.
Yep.
And I'm on
Facebook.
Facebook, DwaynePerkins.com. Dwayne Perkins, excuse me. And then my website is DwaynePerkins.com.
Do you have any shows coming out that people might see across the globe?
I do. If I gotta go,
I got to
online
pull up
there.
the C counter.
Yeah, I'm,
Gotta pull up the old.
The C
Get into the
column.
numbers game.
is when does this go up?
Tonight.
Tonight. It'll be
Right
up
now, Dwayne,
before
you're
you get
live.
home. Before
it's
you get
already
home.
up, Dwayne. Come on, son.
I'll edit it. I'll have it up before you
Yeah,
get
I'm
home.
at the Pachanga Theater, Pachanga Casino in May.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Pachanga
Holla at
in
your boy.
Pachangaville.
I'm in Thousand Oaks on Thursday at the Movie Co. Theater. I'm at the Melrose Improv on Saturday.
Okay.
Check me out, DwaynePerkins.com. You'll see all of my goings, comings and goings. And I just booked. I just inked a thing to go to Singapore in September. So,
Hey,
yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Ni hao.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if that's what they say in Singapore, but I'll take it.
I was very impressed for a fucking second. If you hadn't said that, I'd be like, wow, how did you know that?
All right. You know.
What else?
I'll take
What
it.
you got, Teddy?
I think I'll be at Formosa Cafe this weekend. If not performing, then just hanging out, living the dream. And I would like to say it's been a crazy long ride started off as a guest on this year here podcast
Nice.
for a totally
That's why I say bookends, because you're
Right.
our
right,
first
right,
guest
right.
was black. Our last guest was black.
From I was very flattered to be the first guest on your venture here with our old pal Justin DeBoy. Definitely even more so when I was brought in to guest host for a brief period of time, it seemed like, and then saddled up to ride into the old dusty trail for a while. So thank you. Been an honor and a privilege, sir, to sit in the old co-pilot seat across from you and your ever-changing hairstyles.
It's true. It's true. It has been a lot of hair changing.
So, be sure to check out the YouTube and the Vimeo for riffing highlights from episodes. They'll always be constantly updated, and we will always be in these streets running them. Mitch, what you got for the people?
First and foremost, there will be a bonus episode going up very briefly, but it won't disrupt anything. It's just going to be like a goodbye and what we're doing coming up. And stay subscribed on your iTunes or your Stitcher or your whatever, Google Reader, Feedburner, whatever method you use for being alerted that the podcast is updated. Stay subscribed,
Nerd
because
shit.
I will post a new thing that will update that RSS feed when there's new stuff going on with Teddy and I. It's not like everything's going away. We're just going in different directions. Teddy's going in a more political direction. I'm going more of a pervy direction.
Not as that
And
direction.
and a couple other things. I mean, I have a lot of different things I'm planning, and another sort of like talk show sort of format, which is topic based and things like that. So there'll be different things on both ends of the spectrum, and in all middle spectrums
And
as well.
lots of familiar faces from
Lots
the straight riffing.
Because we only got 10 friends.
11 if you include
so
Dwayne.
there'll be
now.
much to, keep subscribed. It has been a hell of a run. Gone through 2 studios, 2 years, 108 episodes, 220 some odd hours of content. My kudos to you, Mr. Tutson, for sticking with us.
My pleasure.
He came through when the original co-host of Straight Riffin could not, and I'm amazed by everything that's happened, and much to his credit, because a lot of people go like, oh yeah, I could totally do that every week, and then 5-6 weeks in they go, I can't fucking do this anymore. And that's what happened. And Teddy, I was like, do you want to be the new co-host? And I thought, well, let's see how this works out. And since episode 8, I think it was, maybe even less than that. I mean, frankly, it was very early on. It was 5 or 6.
By the time,
From then on, it's been Teddy, and he's been solid, and he's come every week, and he's enjoyed it, and
immensely.
They've been a solid co-host, and that's why he's getting his own show on the upcoming
Riffopolis, we did it.
the upcoming Riffopolis network, and you can catch both of us at Formosa this Friday, April 20. I'm fucking it up.
25th, believe.
26th. Yes, April 26th. Sorry. Yes, this Friday, April 26th. Both Teddy and I will be there. Feel free to stop by. Feel free to give hand jobs where they're.
Just send those ultimates. He can take all your hand jobs.
Nice. I like it.
Yes.
I'll just take a beer.
Give me all the hand jobs. I will buy Teddy a beer for every hand job. I
And
get
please bring
on
all
Friday.
your hand jobs out,
Yeah.
everybody. I'm very thirsty.
Yeah. Teddy gets 2 beers for every one hand job I get on Friday. Thank you all. We love you. And good night. That's it. That's all there is.
Good night, bitches.
Thanks for listening to Straight Riffin'. You can catch all past and future episodes of Straight Riffin' on the official website riffin.net, riffin.net. Keep in mind, we do air live every Monday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Time. That's 10 p.m. to midnight for you East Coasters. You can actually watch that right on Facebook, on our fan page, facebook.com/straightriffin. Like us, check out the Ustream page. You can even chat while we're doing the show. That's how we interact with the fans. We thank you so much for listening. Check out riffin.net. Buy my album. Buy Teddy's album. We'll catch you again next time. And rip the fuck on, bitches!